Hey, everybody, welcome back. Hope you're having a lovely day today. So, I was right. So, if y'all saw my react video that I did to Foodie's community post last night, I told you guys, told you that she would be doing a live either that night or the next day, and she did. Although she didn't rage, she just got on live and she was babbling about this thing and that thing. She ate a bunch of fruit and she talked about her being in Thailand and the speculation about her being in Thailand, stuck in Thailand. Also, she had some comments about the new terms of service that YouTube is going to implement November 1st. So, for those who didn't see my React video, I told y'all that as of November 1st, YouTube is going to be putting into place stricter regulations as far as what kind of content would be advertiser friendly. So they have previously put in place that if you were uh, doing videos featuring content around EDs, even if you're a reactor and you're not doing the content, you're just talking about it, you got to use code words. Now they are going after anybody on YouTube that is going to try to exploit or monetize. We have to call them B moments, the BINGO moments. That they're saying, no, that's not going to be allowed anymore. And as anybody who's been watching Chantal knows, that's basically how she makes her money. So the countdown has officially started. 30 days. That's all she's got left to do whatever food content that she wants to do, because as of November 1st, things are about to get real. And you know what? I love that for her. I absolutely love it. Love it for her. I'm excited. The next 30 days are going to be glorious. So I wanted to react to her live today. I was seriously considering doing a live of my own or, reacting with all of you, but unfortunately, I've got a lot of stuff to do today. I've got to just make preparations because I am going to be moving in a couple of weeks. So I really don't have time for a live, so I apologize about that. But since I'm not doing a live, I wanted to look around and find different things to add to this React that would interest you. So, how about we start with a couple of things of note? How about we jump on over to, let's start with Playboard. Playboard is a site that if you are someone and you're curious about your favorite YouTuber, or if you're a YouTuber and you are curious about the analytics related to your channel, you can go on Playboard and it'll show you exactly what's going on. So I've shown you guys a few times in the past things going on with Foodie's channel. Let me show you guys what's been happening with her. Okay, so she did a live a few hours ago. And let's see. Okay, there you go. Just showing you that's her channel. Did she get any super chats today? Nope. No. Oh, ooh, look at that. The last week she only got $19. Ooh, Foodie. Foodie. Not good. So all that work you did yesterday to tick people off, the trying to provoke people by bringing up the subject of your former pets, you kicked up the dust with people, and then you did a live. Maybe you thought you could profit off of people's anger, but you're just not getting it through your head. You have used the same topics so much over and over again. You have tried to provoke people repeatedly with the same stuff to where everybody is caught on to the scam game and we're desensitized to it. You're just not getting it through your head, Foodie. But if you're a scammer and you're a grifter, and if you're someone and you make money off of shock and drama, you got to come up with some new drama and some new shock, because everything you're doing, everything you've been doing, been there, did that, got the hat, got the t-shirt, got the little jean jacket button, got the tote, got the stationery, got all of it. We're used to it. You're not showing us anything new. You're not showing us anything shocking. And honestly, I don't think you have the energy to come up with anything new. I think that you have backed yourself into a corner. I think you've hit the wall with ideas on how to shock people, how to horrify people, and make money all at the same time. You are burnt out. And yet, you won't do the very thing you need to do when it comes to somebody who's burnt out on something and just close up shop and walk away. You got to keep the machine going because this is it for you. This is how you make your money. This is how Salah gets the money to stay with you. So you got to keep the machine on, even though the engine's breaking down and there's smoke coming out of the machinery. You got to keep it on. But look, you made everybody angry yesterday or tried to, and it led to nothing. You did a live and you got 0 super chats. And what I have to say to that is simply this. Hold on. I'm looking for the I'm looking for the right sound effect. This is the right sound effect. Here we go, y'all. Yep. I'm cheering because people are catching on to the scam game, the shell game, and they're saying, nope, we're not falling for it. You're poking at us on purpose. You're doing it for a reason. We see it for what it is, and we're not falling for it. So for those of you that normally get angry and super chat Chantal because you're mad and you want to yell at her and you've caught on to this, well done. Well done and well played. So as you can see, she didn't get much in the way of super chats today. Love that for you, Chantal. Love it. Okay. So let's move on to something else of high interest. I want to show y'all something. So I've been noticing little Miss Chantal, her sub count's been going up a lot. So, you know, I and quite a few other people on YouTube pointed out she's buying subs. But not only that is she buying subs, she's also buying likes for her video. And I showed you guys a tweet that someone made showing obviously that she was buying likes because the video only had 343 views and yet there were over 4,000 likes. The math ain't mathin', foodie. So you're buying subs and you're buying likes, trying to keep yourself in the algorithm with YouTube so that they'll promote you. But her sub count's been going up. Look at this. 917 plus 100. 924 plus 100. Oh, here we go. And she even bought some more today. 929 plus 100. You know what, foodie? You're in Thailand and the money's tight. So what in the world are you doing buying subs? Shouldn't you keep that money in pocket to make sure that you have it for a room or food or something? You don't know how much longer you're going to be in Thailand. It could be another week. It could be another 2 weeks. It could be another month. Shouldn't you be keeping all the money in pocket? But you're stupid. You're over there spending money on things that really, at the end of the day, don't matter. Because you know that every once in a while, YouTube, they do their sweep and they find all of the bought subs and they get rid of them. So it's just wasted money. But you're desperately trying to get to 100K. You're doing it in small increments so that you will fly beneath the radar with YouTube and they won't detect it. But you're trying to buy your way to that YouTube silver play button plaque. Well, here's something you should know, foodie. And if this happens, I'm going to be cheering all day long. If she does get to 100K, YouTube, before they issue the plaque to the person, they will look at the channel, review everything, and if there's any bot subs or anything fake or phony, they won't give you the plaque. So go ahead and waste your money on bot subs. You're not buying your way to 100K. You're not buying your way to that YouTube silver play button. All you're doing is wasting your money. But honestly, what's the difference between her wasting money on food and wasting money on bot subs? It's just neither one of those things she needs, but let her just make herself broke being stupid. Okay. So I thought you guys might want to see that she is just inching her way up closer to 100K. And for those people, I've seen you guys on Twitter. A lot of people are like, look at her, she's close to 100K. Look, even if she gets there, they're not going to give her the plaque because they'll do the channel review and they'll take all of it away. It's just going to put more of an eyeball on her. So it ain't going to happen. A YouTube silver plate button is not going to be hers no matter what she does. Okay. So we're done with that. Where else are we going? Where are we going? Okay. Before we get into foodies content, can I just show you guys something? So I made mention in my last react that my friend Erie Pepperoni, her last live stream, she reviewed a lot of other mukbang channels that were completely unlike Foodie because they take their job seriously. Everything looks professional. Everything is on point. They're not gross about it. They're not spilling food on themselves. Can I just briefly show you guys something? Because I bounce around on YouTube and I check out different channels. I'll check out ambiance channels and ASMR, and yes, even mukbangers. And one of my favorite mukbangers, her name is TZUYANGS. Her channel is 8.8 million subscribers, and I love her content because she's very nice. She's very sweet. She's not gross. All of the food that she eats looks very appealing. I want to show you guys the difference between Foodie and other people using Miss TZUYANGS. And we're just going to look at this very briefly. We're not going to review her whole video. But I want to show you Miss TZUYANGS. And I do recommend her content. I know that mukbangs are not for everybody. I get it. Maybe some people are very sensitive to eating noises. I promise you, TZUYANGS, she doesn't have extreme eating noises like Foodie. Please don't think that what Foodie is doing is a mukbang, because it's not. But she's like, TZUYANGS, like, this is how creative TZUYANGS got with her content. So she did a mukbang at a convenience store, at the actual store, with the products. And as you can see here, before we even start the video, a portion of the advertisement earnings will be donated to child welfare facilities to help children in need. Like, just doing an act of wonderful charity. And at the end of this video, on top of that, she bought gifts for children because this was around Christmas time. So she did this very creative mukbang. And I'm going to turn off the sound because I think she's got some copyrighted music. So she's at the store. She's very sweet. Love you, TZUYANGS. Love you. She's doing a variety of products. Okay. In the store. I love that. The fact that she did this in the store. I'm sure she had to call ahead of time and get the okay and get things set up. But notice all of the food is laid out in front of her. It looks appealing, even though it is a convenience store food. It's laid out in front of her. And she includes the reactions of people because TZUYANGS is known for eating a lot of food. But just everything is just she's showing the whole process. There's TZUYANGS right there. She loves to show the reactions of people. That's part of what makes the videos kind of funny, because she look at her, she's so little and she eats a tremendous amount of food, and it always amazes people. It amazes me. But it's obviously Christmas time. They're wearing the Christmas head decorations. But look at the difference in setup. Like, sorry, TZUYANGS, but just this would appeal to me. This would interest me. Foodie does not know how to do this. And then there's Foodie's content. So she's not a mukbanger. She's just gorging herself on camera and letting everybody watch. And she hopes to make a little bit of coin just having a simple meal. So I didn't want to stay too long on TZUYANG's content. I'll leave a link in the description for anybody who wants to check out TZUYANGS. And there's so many other mukbangers out there that they are worlds apart from Foodie. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay. Another thing before we get deep into Foodie's video. So she does address the new terms of service, and she's defending, like, I don't have B moments and they can't take my content away from me. That's discriminatory. No, it's not. No, it's not. Here's why you should not be doing the content that you do, Foodie. And I love the fact that this is still on your channel too. Okay. Look at the title. What word do you see in the title that shouldn't be there? That B word, right? So there are people who are mukbangers. They don't have issues with food. They've got self-control. Food is not their obsession. It's just something they do on YouTube. Whereas Foodie has serious issues with food. And really, she should not be doing food content at all, because that does trigger her. And she knows it. She's exploiting what's wrong with her rather than getting it treated, rather than go to inpatient and get therapy, which she desperately needs those things. So people who don't have issues with food, they can do the videos and they're fine. But since she does have her issue, this is content that she should be staying away from, but she leans into it because she knows it attracts a certain kind of audience and they have a certain kind of fetish, and she is there to satisfy their fetish for her own profit. I've said it so many times, but I will say it one more time. You should not be exploiting something that is wrong with you and making money off of it. You should heal it. If there is a hurt going on, hurts are meant to be healed. They are not meant to be exploited and made worse. And hers is extremely bad. If she's over there eating $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 worth of food a month, obviously there is a problem. And it's only getting much more worse. But look, that B word in the title just 2 months ago. Something interesting about her content, just a sub note. Foodie flip-flops back and forth. When it suits her, she will talk about what's wrong with her to garner sympathy from people, to get super chats. And then she'll flop over to something else where she'll talk about her size, how big she is, being obese, being overweight. She'll use that to not only garner sympathy for some people, but attention from other people who are looking for others who are super morbidly obese that could satisfy their food fetish. She'll tag her videos with words to signal those food fetish people to come and watch her. And I'm of the belief that the whole thing with Cameo, that's just another way for her to keep in contact with the food fetish people. Another way to do videos and yet not be on a food fetish site. You know, doing it kind of incognito. I've always maintained the belief that she's being contacted off of YouTube and getting paid off YouTube to do requests. That's her little side hustle. So she's getting money for what she's doing, but at what cost? At the cost of her health. And her health is getting worse. And yet the only person that can fix that is Foodie. But you know what? Let's go on to the live. Let's get into it, because I've got a lot to say. And I don't know how long this react is going to be, but her live was an hour and 34 minutes. So let's just jump right into this. Let's get to, shall we?
Squishy Granny, Shakespeare. Well, how art thou? Celeste, welcome back. Shiki, walaikum salam. Hi, babe. Kina, Tangerine. Megasaurus. Hi, Blacks. Have I been gone that long? I can't. I don't remember when my last live stream was.
She's acting all giddy and happy because she's thinking that the community post that she put out yesterday, that she might have a ton of people coming in to this live to get mad at her and yell at her about the cats again and send her super chats. And as you guys saw on Playboard, that didn't work. She didn't get a single super chat, not a single one. All she's getting off this sucker is the views.
Hi, Ori. Now my fan. I have an upgraded portable fan. Check this out. Tells you when it's gonna end, so you don't freak out and you can charge it. But the fan in my eye makeup is actually making my eyes water. So, view, what a view. I'm kidding. Solène, non, je suis pas en Kuwait. No, I'm not in Kuwait. If I was in Kuwait, you would see my blue couch. We have a new toy for Julia. I have to show you this. A fishy fish. She's gonna love this fishy fish. Okay. Salah got a fruit haul. Like, even him, he came home and he was drenched in sweat. That's how humid it is out. Normal size man, drenched in sweat, feels like passing out in the humidity. What chance do I have? What chance? I feel like a prisoner. Thriller kid, hi, creepy.
You know, Chantal, you've been in Thailand for a month. And since you've been in Thailand, we've heard nothing but complaints from you. You're complaining about the food. You're complaining about how much you miss Kuwait. You've been reminiscing about Canada. You're complaining about the weather. Complaining about everything. And yet you haven't left Thailand yet. So if you're having a problem with everything in Thailand, why not just leave? Just get a plane ticket and leave. Answer? Because you can't. I think you're having trouble with your visa. It's being held up for some reason. But you're not ready to let that cat out of the bag. You know, you're still thinking of ways to get around telling people, still waiting for that visa to be approved so you can go back. But you've been there for exactly 1 month now. Why would anybody who is anywhere, if they're not having a good time, stay where they're at? It's because you can't go anywhere else. And I know this Salah, he's on a different visa than you are. So he can't be out of Kuwait too long. You can stay out of Canada for a little bit longer. But he's got to go back soon. So what's going to happen when that happens? How are y'all going to handle that?
No, I'm not in Canada. Hi, Fernanda. You have one of those fans too? It's a necessity, Meg. So I have some fruit because honestly, one thing I miss is affordable variety of food, okay? Hi, Helen. I hate being hot too, Gertie and Nate.
I've been watching Chantal for years. I have never, ever, 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 not one time ever heard her say, I crave fruit. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, no, never, ever have I heard her say, I'm craving some fruit today. I really want some fruit. This is an absolute first. I didn't want that nashi. No, I know. No. I don't want that nashi. I don't want that KFC. I don't want that Starbucks. I want some fruit. Never have I heard her say that. If she's saying it, maybe it has to do with the terms of service, being nervous about what she does on camera now. Maybe it has to do with the fact that her and Salah are low on money. And that's crazy considering she just got paid less than a week ago. It's been a week and the money's already gone. You guys are getting tight on the money. Holy gods. Not even 2 weeks after your paycheck is issued to you, and you're like talking about getting fruit instead of processed food. And all through this live, she's talking about the cost of things and how everything is cheap in Thailand and eating cheaply. That's not real Chantal talk. Chantal is very grandiose. She likes to do everything in grand style. But if she's not got a lot of money, then she'll start talking about being frugal with her money. And it's so good that these things are cheap. Yeah, it's good they're cheap because you can't afford anything else. But best and believe, if you had a lot more money, you'd be spending a lot more money on food that costs more. So what's going on, foodie? Are you eating the cheap 7-Eleven hot dogs and the ramen and the fruit because that's all you and Salah can afford? Well, maybe you shouldn't order so much takeout.
Guardian angel. I like DC. Okay. All right. Now listen to this. If you want to get like things to buy a sandwich, this is what I'm craving. Fresh sourdough bread with hummus, Havarti cheese, black olives, lettuce, and tomato. All right.
No, you're not. So she's craving something healthy. No. Translation. I'm doing some foodie beauty translation here right now. I'm going to translate this for y'all. If she's saying she wants to eat healthy, that's a lie. She doesn't want to eat healthy. It's just what she can afford. Like there must be pennies and nickels in her pocket right now. But she's trying to put this spin on it like, I wanted to do this. This was a choice. I had a choice between healthy stuff and unhealthy stuff, and I'm being smart for once, and I'm choosing the healthy stuff. No, those of us in the know who watch foodie, who know her ways, she will never choose healthy food. If she's eating it, it's because she has no other choice. You mean to tell me if somebody walked up to her with 2 containers of Starbucks drinks and 4 Nashies, she wouldn't be eating that instead? Oh, yes, she would. Oh, yeah. You're broke, foodie. You are broke. You went to Thailand and you didn't imagine you were going to be there this long. You probably thought you were going to go to Thailand and only be there a week. That's why you only packed 4 outfits. But then, your visa got denied. There's problems. So you've been in there for over a month. And who knows how much longer you're going to be there. But you did not prepare. That's pretty obvious. Because if this whole thing in Thailand were a true vacation, you would have packed a lot more in the way of clothes. You would have packed at least 2 weeks worth of outfits. You only packed 4. 4 outfits means you're going to be there for less than a week. You've been there for 3 extra weeks. And because you've been there for so long, money's getting tight, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. If you want to buy just those items to make a sandwich, you're probably looking at $70.
What?
It's like, especially cheese here is so expensive. Hi, Ava. Hi, everybody. I missed Kim, Rashu. Hi, Polo. So yeah, now all of those things I could get at Farm Boy for like $30 or less. So I mean, in Kuwait too, at the Jamia, you can get all kinds of cheese for cheap. So I miss the food. Like here, fruits, fresh fruit, cheap, very cheap. Like you'll see what we got. Not everyone feels like
Did you notice that when she was like talking about the fruits there, like the expression on her face? Oh, fruits, the fruits they have here. But yet later on, you're going to see her eat a ton of fruit. So she made the ugly face with the fruit. She didn't want that fruit. She wanted something else, but maybe all they can afford is fruit right now. Oh, well.
walking to get their street food every night, like our place is kind of out of the way. There's vendors, but they're not halal. It's all full of meat that's not halal.
Like you care.
And some of the ingredients I don't know, and if I don't know, I'm not going to eat it just in case it's not halal. Farm Boy, I know. I should open a Farm Boy in Kuwait. Come on down.
No, it's interesting that she's bringing up Farm Boy. Why did she go to Farm Boy? Y'all remember the purpose of her going to Farm Boy? Like, what was the big appeal of Farm Boy? That was the store that she went to buy Natter groceries. That was one of the stores that she went to get his stuff to buy for him that he could eat and use for his cooking videos. Isn't it funny that lately Natter's coming up a lot lately? So she did a video that I went off on her. She was reminiscing about the long road, and the long road leads to Natter. And here she is in this live, bringing up something that's connected to him. You're missing Natter, Chantal. You really want to be back with Natter. I believe that 1,010%. You are missing your life in Canada. You're missing the freedom. You're missing just being feral and crazy and doing your own thing without somebody telling you what to do. Well, you can go back there if you want to. But for some reason, you just want to prove us all wrong. He really does love me. Salah cares about me. We really are married. You don't want any of us to be right to the point where you're willing to make yourself broke to prove a point that really isn't a point. It's pointless. It's pointless to carry on a lie if it makes you broke. But if that's what you want to do, feel free. I got a sweet tooth. I'm here for my dessert, and my dessert is your karma. And the taste of it is just so sweet in my mouth.
I'm a Farm Boy. So, I mean, I just want a cheese and hummus sandwich, man.
What?
So, anyway, falafel here. You want a falafel sandwich? You're going to pay $8 for one sandwich when you can get one falafel sandwich in Kuwait.
You know, the fact that she spends a lot of time in this live complaining about the cost of food in Thailand tells you how broke she is. Because when she was in Canada, she wouldn't blink an eye about buying takeout 3 or 4 times a day. Chantal easily spent $100, sometimes even $200 a day on takeout. And she didn't complain. She never complained about spending all that money on all that food and the junk food and the Starbucks drinks that she would buy daily and the green store visits. And that's not counting the party favors she was getting from Natter. Let's not forget about that. She's telling on herself right here. I love it. Complaining about money tells me you don't have much. Or maybe Salah's got control of your money. He's not letting you have much, knowing what you're going to do when you get a hold of it. He's stopping you from being feral and being stupid with the money, and it's bugging you.
It's 100 fills. So it's like, what, 50 cents?
Oh, shut up.
But I did a video, I explained, like, I'm not complaining about being here. It's just that's one of the things I miss. We're not going to change our flight to go home earlier because it costs money. So I explained that. But that's why I'm complaining because, like, you know, certain things like street food, some of it's cheap, like pad thai and stuff. Sometimes you don't want to eat that. Sometimes you just want a sandwich. So that's my sandwich rant. I'm not back in Kuwait right now, Kim. No. Everything is expensive these days. I'm just surprised. I expected a lot.
And she wants to go to Japan. Her and Salah have talked about going to Japan for a visit. As I understand it, Thailand is one of the cheaper places you can visit. You know, I'm sure if you were money smart, you could stretch your money very well in Thailand, but she's a spendthrift. You know, she just spends money like it's going out of style. And she buys way too much food, and all of it is unhealthy. But I'm sure a smarter tourist could go to Thailand and do well on half the money that she has. But you want to go to Japan, Chantal? Do you think it's going to be cheap there? Nope. Japan's expensive. It's a big city. Lots and lots of people. Another thing you don't like crowds? Japan is crowded. People everywhere. It's going to be impossible to find little out of the way places that are empty in Japan. Not only that, but the wonderful Japanese people, they do not put up with disrespect at all. And they will call you out on your nonsense. So, might want to take the visiting Japan off your bucket list. Doesn't sound like you'd make it there very far.
A lot of things to be cheaper, but so I have a bag of fruit. This is just one bag of.
Why did she need all that fruit? Did y'all see the size of that bag? Let's go back. Like, why not just a little thing of fruit? Hold on, I gotta go back. Sorry, I lost it. I wasn't quick enough. She didn't hold it up. Okay, did I go past it? I did. Doggone it. See, I hate this.
Wait. Come on down, farm boy. So, I mean, I just want a cheese and hummus sandwich, man. Certain things.
And I still can't get over that cheese and hummus combination. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on anybody who likes that, but it's just, why does she have to put cheese on everything? Even hummus?
Like street food, some of it's cheap, like pad thai and stuff. Sometimes you don't want to eat that. Sometimes you just want a sandwich. So that's my sandwich rant. I'm not back in Kuwait right now, Kim. No. Everything is expensive these days. I'm just surprised. I expected a lot of things to be cheaper, but
okay, there we go. There's the freeze frame I was looking for. Look at the size of that bag. Is that all for her? Even if it was for her and him, that's a lot of fruit for two people. And let's not forget that Chantal is diabetic. I know she's claimed that she cured her diabetes. I think that's a bunch of bunk. But even if you are someone and you are managing your diabetes very well, you still have to be very careful about fruit because some fruit is very high in sugar and it will spike your blood sugar. But look at the amount of fruit that she has in that bag. That is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Where are they going to keep all that fruit? Are they both going to eat it within a day?
I have a bag of fruit. This is just one bag of fruit. I'm going to eat some fruit, guys. I'm sorry, but I thought I would do a little fruit mukbang with you guys. This is cantaloupe. I like how they give you those sticks and cut it up for you, though. Yeah. Thank you, Carpet. Did I miss anybody? I know, Ori. Hi, Vanessa. Lisa, you live in the hot and humid all year round? You can't have a nice sandwich? I could order sub. I could. I can, but it's expensive. I refuse to spend that much.
All this talk about this is expensive, that's expensive, cheese is expensive, everything's expensive in Thailand, y'all. Feel sorry for foodie. Everything's expensive. You're traveling. When you travel somewhere, no matter who you are, you got to think of the travel expenses, food included. Maybe you should have slowed all the way down on getting the takeout foodie, and you'd be eating more than fruit right now. You think?
Creepy. Thanks, Helen. It's an abaya. What is this?
You know, I have to wonder if her getting fruit for this live and eating the fruit, that maybe she is leery about the new terms of service that's soon to drop with YouTube. And if she gets on camera and does what she normally does, which is eat the junk food, eating the cakes and eating the cookies and the chips, and she's going to get called out for having a bee moment. So maybe she's trying to get around that by eating fruit.
Is this a honeydew? Look at the color. So I'm craving, literally, I'm just going to pig. I'm just going to like pig out for lack of a better term. Hi, Tracy. Thanks, Cheeky. Thriller Kid. I'm just going to eat fruits and vegetables. We have dragon fruit, bananas, whatever these things are. Lettuce, leafy lettuce, tomato, pineapple. I'm tired of just 7-Eleven noodles and wieners. I need some vitamins in my life. What is this? It's so creamy. Oh, wow.
Oh, here's an interesting bit of information. So Freya says, listen, the markets and vendors around mosques are halal. Well, there are mosques in Thailand, although Foodie and Salah have yet to visit one. So here's this person being helpful saying, hey, if you're looking for halal options, check for markets and such around the mosques. But she's not even bothering.
What is this? $1,000 a month at Walmart. Miss A. Vanessa. Who else said hey? Maya? It's crazy. No, it's not honeydew. It tastes like a cross between honeydew and avocado. It tastes like an avocado.
So it seems like Salah went out and got all this fruit because there's a lot of it. He didn't know what he was buying. He went to the market and got a bunch of fruit and don't know what it is. It just seems weird. Like she doesn't know what it is and he didn't tell her. So where'd this fruit come from?
Does anyone know what this is? Yum. Mmm. Dawn. Yeah, Mother D, it's not honeydew. Celeste. That's true. It's a trade-off. Here, fruit and veg, like local fruit and veg. If you buy cherries, oh no, you're paying an arm and a leg. But fruit like this, Thai fruit, yeah, it's cheap.
Oh, how mighty how far the mighty have fallen. From double fisting Starbucks drinks buying 2 at a time to complaining about the cost of cherries. Anybody out there that's been screaming and yelling, they want to see Chantal get her karma. I know that everybody's been waiting for the big knockout punches, but it's little moments like this that show you that karma isn't being lazy. It's not lacking. It's just taking its sweet time with Chantal. It's dismantling things very, very slowly. You know, chipping a little here, chipping a little there, taking her from a place of just spending whatever money she wants on Starbucks and green products and takeout to being in Thailand and complaining about the cost of cherries and cheese. Oh, my sweet tooth is having a field day today. I love it.
Like a kilo is like 50 baht. That's like, what, a fraction of a dollar? Like, hi, Tracy. Too dehydrated, I think so. Hi, Mike. Hi, Beezers. Yes, how are you guys enjoying your Friday? It's like an avocado melon. I don't know what it is. Okay, now we also have some. Look at this watermelon. Anyway, I love you, babe. Thank you for venturing out into this horrible. I feel like crying because, you know, like if you want something healthy, if you want fruit, I'll go get it for you. And he's messaging me. He's like, I feel dizzy. So he's like, just to get us fruits and veggies. Hi, Bella. Long time no see. I hope you're well. How are you? It does taste a bit different, Cheeky. Yeah, that's a trade-off. I know. Remember that one time that like the cauliflower was $7.99? Better make me live forever at that price. All right, let's try some other things. You know what I want? A huge banana.
Would you guys mind if I scoot ahead a little bit with her live? Because all she's doing is just showing off the different fruit that she brought. And that's just, you know, who cares? Things really, I got some timestamps here. I wrote down some timestamps because unlike Chantal, I come to class with notes. So about 15 minutes, 27 seconds is when she starts talking about her visa. So let's just get closer to that. Let's start right here and let's go from here.
I did, and I even ended up changing my flight because I wasn't with Salah, you know, so Yeah. Kim, we had to wash our clothes, yeah, a few times. But
A few? You've been in Thailand for over, like, now it's a month and just a few times in 30 days. And it's hot and humid there with the weather. You should be changing outfits every couple of hours, Chantal, every time you eat, because you're a bigger size, you're going to sweat more, which could lead to body odor. You should have more than 4 outfits, mama. But a few times within 30 days. Oh my God. Ew.
it's people at the hotel do it.
Those poor people. Did you tip them extra?
And they bring you back your laundry. I've never had laundry like this in my life. It puts me to shame. I feel terrible. It's like,
You mean, are you absolutely amazed of people doing laundry and it comes back clean? Oh my God, what a concept. Actually having clean clothes, really clean clothes, not just thrown in a washer with some water and no soap. She's amazed by it, guys.
crisp. It doesn't really smell like much, but it's crisp. It's folded. It's on hangers. It's in this plastic shroud comes over it. Are you kidding? I'm not me sweating, not washing my clothes for a month and a half.
Ew. Did she really say that? Oh my. Did she say that? She said that. Not washing her clothes for a month and a half. Oh, I'm just, ooh, I'm getting the creepy crawlies on my skin just thinking about that. That's nasty, Chantal. That is nasty. And I'm not saying that because of you being a bigger size. I would say that about anyone who's not washing their clothes and wearing the same clothes for almost 2 months. That's just freaking disgusting. That is nasty.
Yeah, no.
Gross. Ew.
Banana tastes like banana here. Welcome everyone and everyone I missed. I wish we had Nutella. Too expensive.
Everything's too expensive according to you. So again, here's the question. If everything is too expensive and you're not having a good time, and clearly you're not because of the weather, because of the price of everything, you don't want to go out, you don't want to be around people, you're getting low on money, why not just leave? What is the point in staying in a location where you're not happy unless you're stuck? So you are stuck. You can't go back to Kuwait. Maybe he can. I'm pretty sure if Salah wanted to go home bad enough, he could make a phone call to the family and say, "Get me out of here." They would buy him a plane ticket and have him come home. If he said, "Hey, I'm leaving this one behind," they would pay his way. You don't have that luxury. I don't think your family would bail you out. So he's got a decision to make. Does he stick with you and you barely make any money and be in misery with you, or does he use the one brain cell in his head that he's got left to make a single rational thought and say, it's been fun, but it's not fun anymore, and get gone? You got a choice, Salah. Do you want to hang out with Chantal and deal with all of her, or do you want to go home?
What are these? Okay, you said these are good, babe. Hello, welcome, salam, little pumpkin. Dawn, hi, Dawn.
And can I just make an observation right here? I don't know how she does it. Like, holding a live chat and eating at the same time, I couldn't do it. Because when you're eating and it's hard to talk. And if you got a room full of people, you got to focus on talking to them. But yet, this is what she does. I would think that talking in a live chat, it's right on the same level of you sit down to have a meal and you're focused on the meal and you got your mouth full of food and somebody walks up to you and they want to talk to you and you feel awkward because you got a mouthful of food and you can't reply to them right away. You got to swallow first. It's just awkward to make conversation like that. But yet she insists on stuffing her face while she's got a room full of people in front of her.
It's a mini potato. Mike, yeah. Well, I guess if you're paying them to do your laundry, they have to be professional. Okay. It smells like garlic.
You know, they put that industrial strength soap on her clothes. They had to. As filthy as she is, it probably took 2, 3, 4 washes just to get them halfway clean.
Why does everything smell like garlic?
Because you do.
I don't know what this is called. Salah asked the vendor, but we didn't understand what they said. So, curious. The fast food places here, yeah, they have different items. Everything has rice as a side dish, like sticky rice. Ready to go back to Kuwait? Yeah, pretty much. Actually, not really curious because we still have a lot to do. So I'm glad.
The first answer was the correct answer. Somebody asked her if she wanted to go back to Kuwait, and she said, yeah. Forget everything else that came after that. The first answer was the correct answer. She wants to go back. She's ready. Something is keeping them there, and it's not because she wants to be there.
We booked a long trip because, you know what? In the back, hi, Angel's Beauty. In the back of my mind, I'm good. How are you? I was thinking, knowing me, I'm going to need a couple days in between every attraction, like to recoup. So
it takes you 2 days to recoup from walking. The vlogs aren't even that long. It's not like she's getting on YouTube and showing us vlogs that are like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, showing herself walking for an hour or 2 hours. Her vlogs are really, really short. They're just long enough to be monetized, but no more than that. But it takes her 2 days to recuperate from walking for about 15 minutes. Really?
When we first got here, it was like bang, 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 you know. And now I've hit a wall. So I'm glad I had that like extra week or two to just like, you know, decompress a bit and hide away with my anxiety. Wouldn't be bad if.
You know what she's not bringing up here? See, this is what I love about her. She forgets everything she tells us. Where's the talk about the boil? No mentioning anything about the boil. What happened to the boil, Chantal? Remember that golf ball sized boil that you had to have lanced? No mention of that. Conveniently forgot that you talked about that because you were fishing for sympathy and nobody was giving it to you. Nobody was getting in your chats and giving you tons of super chats, feeling sorry for you. You were fishing for money and it didn't work. No fish were biting.
It all smelled like garlic. I love garlic, Celeste. True. I don't know about in my fruit though. Hi, McCorney. You can write down all the names. That's a good idea. Your cat's a beezer, Guardian. Hi, Missy. The mint sauce waterfall. Oh yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. Mint sauce waterfall. I just drench everything in that. Garlic is a natural antiseptic. Julia is doing very well. So is Howie. So as soon as we see them again, we will put them on camera and let you guys say hey. Vacate to Malaysia. I know it's like predominantly Muslim there. This little blob. Whoa. Okay, this is like, okay, it's a mash of fruit. Oh my God, it's good. You see the stem? The middle is like a pear.
Pears.
It tastes like a lychee. You can eat the whole thing. Oh my God. There's no seeds. They're so good. Can you address the rumors you're having issues getting your visa to return? No, I can't address that because.
Yeah, why not address it? Address it, Chantal. Why not address it? No, I can't address that. Oh, you can't. Why can't you? Why can't you address it? Notice what she didn't say. She didn't say, no, I'm not having issues. She said, I can't address it. So she pretty much admitted there are problems. There's something going on. Maybe her visa was denied. Keep telling on yourself, Chantal. I love it.
It's imaginary. But okay, I have a question about that. Curious. Why do people care? You know, I see people like, I'm sure, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it happens. I don't even have to look. People have 5 million hour live streams about my visa status, like it's anyone's business. Why is it such a big point of contention? You know, travelers have to deal with immigration, you know, like.
You want to know the honest answer? I can give you the honest answer for me. While I'm keeping up with this and why I'm interested, I got a bunch of reasons, and I'll tell you them all right now, Chantal, and everybody else too. I'm interested because I'll be straight with you. I'm sick of this whole fake, phony marriage arc. I'm sick to death of this fake, phony persona that you came up with that's not really you. This is not you. This is not your real, authentic, original self. This is self that you came up with to be accepted by Salah. But Salah does not care about you. He's around for the money. As long as the money's there, he's there. I'm around because I've been reacting to you for years. And I'm just following this story. But I've been patiently waiting for that moment to see your real self again. Because I know it's in there. I know that real Chantal is inside the fake, phony Chantal dying to get out. So I'm patiently waiting. And a lot of people are. A lot of people are sick of the boring, bland content, the constant food videos where you're basically half asleep, just stuffing yourself stupid. We're sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. And it sounds like you're even sick of it because when you come on camera, you're not even enthusiastic about food anymore. You're bored with yourself. You're bored with this whole thing. You'll never admit it because you always have to be right. You can never be wrong, but even you are bored. But that's why we're interested. We want this whole fake, phony marriage arc to be over. We want to see the real Chantal. And you don't have to do chemicals to be your real self. That's up to you. But we know what's inside you. We've been exposed to it before. And we know eventually it's got to come out.
Like, why is that a big deal? Why is that a conspiracy? I had someone send me an email like, we know you're just border hopping, you dumb cunt. Like, what the heck? Why are you so angry? Like,
yeah, but it's true. That's basically what this was. You and Salah went over to Thailand to border hop because you had to get out of Kuwait. You waited till the last possible second to leave and go somewhere else. You didn't leave before then. But it would kill you to say, yeah, they were right about that. I am border hopping. What's going to happen if you do admit it, Chantal? Yeah, I border hop. What do you think is going to happen? Nothing. But you don't want other people to be right. You want to be right, even when you're dead wrong.
who cares? How does this affect your life? Okay, this is my new favorite fruit here. It looks like garlic. Tastes like a lychee. Hi, Lexi. It's just interesting. Oh, you mean like people are interested to know? But no, these people, some of them are very vehement. If you're interested, I get that. That's different. But to those people, I just say I'm keeping that part of my life private, you know, and that's all. No, nothing personal. Okay, let's try something else right now. Oh, we got 2 kilos of this. Yeah, babe. I mean, what the hell? Okay, this is a
Oh, that cursing. Bad word, bad word.
dragon fruit. This is probably the most interesting looking fruit I've ever seen. The color is beautiful, but I've had this before. Golden girl, hi. Hi, Mary Johnson.
You know, some of her beezers crack me up. This person in her chat, Mike, saying, it's because they are jealous you are out traveling. Meanwhile, they're all sat home desperate for money. Are you serious, bro? I'm not jealous of Chantal. I mean, I've talked to many different reactors. I've been in many different reactor chats. Ain't nobody jealous of Chantal. I can tell you that for fact. We are not jealous of her. There's not a single one of us that would trade places with her. Even with the money she makes on YouTube, which, by the way, is not that much anymore. What exactly about Chantal should anybody be jealous of? What does she have that the rest of us don't have, that we cannot acquire? I've got my health. She doesn't have her health. I've got my mobility. She's losing hers. Maybe she makes more money than me on YouTube, but so what? Money is money. Money is not a thing. Anybody can make it. She's got a fake, phony husband that's around to profit off of her. He's so money hungry that he's over there encouraging her to do videos that really she shouldn't be doing because she's got an issue with food. Why would I be jealous of that? I would never have a partner encouraging me and cheerleading me to do things that hurt my health. So what exactly is she and what does she have that anybody would be jealous of? She can't even walk for 15 minutes without being winded. It takes her 2 days, she said, to recuperate from just walking around for less than half an hour. That's not normal. I can walk for 2-3 miles, no problem. So I wouldn't trade anything about my life for her life. I've got the gold mine and she's got the shaft.
Good to see you too. Golden girl, good to see you. The Sam pick of Sam Lexi. Yeah, Sam, thank you.
Oh, about that. So people in the chat are bringing up the whole picture of Sam. And one of my subscribers, a couple of people actually, have chimed in and said that picture, it looks like a picture she took of Sam back in the villa because they kind of recognized the sheets on the bed as the sheets that she had on her former bed. So you're using old pictures now, Chantal, acting like they're from a new home, which would make sense because if Sam has a new owner, why would they be sending pictures to Chantal? They kind of looked like an old picture.
We have our employees here, business. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, babe. What was I gonna say? Sam, yeah, I get updates here and there.
Look at Salah lying in the chat saying, I am a business owner. We have our employees, really. So you've been out of Kuwait for a month. What business owner can leave their home country if they own a business and be away for that long and still maintain the business? The only business you're maintaining is Chantal. Making sure she makes that money for you, Salah. And if you were a business owner, sir, what are you doing living off of her? If you were a business owner and loving your wife, why would you encourage your wife to do the food videos, knowing they're bad for her? To say the truth, Salah, you are a grifter, scammer, douchebag. You're a bum. You're a professional bum. A pretty bum boy living off of Chantal. You know that she's thirsty for love and affection and attention and companionship, and you slipped right into that slot. And the agreement was she would take care of you. She would take care of all the expenses as long as you got on camera and smiled and act pretty. All he has to do is fake love me, she said, and I would give him the world. Well, she hasn't given you the world. She's shown you Thailand after about a year of begging. So I guess that's something. But trust and believe, you're probably not going to see any other parts of the world. You're certainly not going to go to Canada because she doesn't want you there. She doesn't want you around any other women. She doesn't want the possibility of you running off away from her. So she's going to do everything in her power to keep you in Kuwait, even if that means purposely making her videos so boring that she doesn't get much in the way of views. And yes, Chantal is that manipulating, that she will purposely put things in play to where she's not making much money to keep at a certain amount every month, barely enough to cover expenses, but not enough that he's going to get a bunch of money and run away from her.
My nose is running. And it's definitely relieving, you know? Dragon fruit, really? No, I think you're right.
Ageless Beauty says people spend so much time worrying about you and what you're doing when they should be worried about their own lives. I'm not worried about Chantal. Worrying about Chantal would mean that I care for her. She's a stranger to me. And why am I going to give my emotion and my care to somebody who doesn't care about themselves when they have all the power in the world to take care of themselves and they don't? Giving something to them that they don't even have for themselves. And they get on camera and they actively destroy their health for a paycheck. I will give my compassion and my pity and my sympathy to those who deserve it, not someone who doesn't.
Right, Celeste. I think people expect me, like, I don't know, because I'm overweight or what I went through a couple of years ago, that I'm forever going to be miserable.
Oh,
No,
God.
no, I don't know why people would wish that on anyone anyway. That's weird.
Making references to Natter again. What I went through a couple of years ago. Let me fix that for you, Chantal. Instead of what I went through 2 years ago, how about what I put myself through? Because that's what happened. You put yourself through something. You made the choice to be around someone who wasn't good for you. You chose to support that person. You chose to be around them when you guys fought and he didn't love you, and you knew he didn't love you, and you were trying to buy his love. You chose that. You had your own job, you had your own place, you had your own car. You could have stayed away. You didn't. So you put yourself through that. Nobody forced you. You chose to be around Natter to the point where you paid him to keep the drama going because it meant a lot of money for you on your YouTube channel. During the Natter arc, you made a lot of money. And the money has not been the same since then, has it? Those $20,000, $30,000 paychecks, that didn't last that long. Now you're so broke on money, you're complaining about the cost of cherries and cheese. Again, have the mighty have fallen.
What is this stuff? They gave us sugar. That salty sugar stuff. Oh my gosh. Babe, do you want some of this, babe? Yes. Dragon fruit, and this is pineapple. Oh my gosh. So yum.
So adding sugar on top of fruit.
This is like, I don't know what this is.
Let's make it more sweet. Diabetes says who?
The pineapple is too good here. Is it native to this place? You ate your whole plate, mashallah. People are jealous I'm on a visa run. I'm not on a visa run.
You are.
Florida has dragon fruit all the time. Seasoning bath salt. Imagine. You have a beautiful face, mashallah. Even if you're overweight, you'll get a nice husband. Thank you. You know, I want to say there's more to a person than just their weight, you know? They give us 3 bags of the sugar stuff. Okay, let's try one of these. I'm trying every single thing. Oh, couples vlogs, Mike. Yes, coming soon.
You know, it's amazing to me. She doesn't have the usual trigger foods in front of her like pizza or chips or cookies, but even with fruit, she's doing the bee moment thing. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, large amount of stuff. Got to try everything, got to eat everything all at once. Sorry, even with fruit, that would be considered a bee moment. So like she's just got a huge amount of food in front of her and she's got to eat it all. Got to try it all. Can't put any of it away and go get it if she needs it. Even with fruit.
Coming soon. I call the pineapple a coconut. When?
God.
Okay.
Even with fruit, you have to be gross, Chantal. Even with fruit. Fruit is simple. It's so easy not to make that messy and you're just being gross. Even with fruit. Ugh.
I have some things to complain about.
You always do, but go ahead.
I'm from TikTok. Why is NPC a trend? Why? I hate scroll. Get off my For You page. I don't even watch them.
She's jealous. Okay, for those who are not aware, on TikTok, there are people that imitate video game NPCs. You know, like those non-characters you go up to in a video game and they say something to you. And sometimes they say repeat phrases. So there is a young lady, I am sorry, I don't know her name, but her account blew up because she's very pretty, very, very pretty. And she would sit there and repeatedly on live act like a game NPC. And what was impressive about this young lady is she would stay in character for hours, just doing the same movements in the same voice over and over and over again. And although it may look weird to some people and they may not understand it, I do admire this young lady for just staying in character for that long. And it got a lot of attention from people and she made a lot of money already. You know, but she would do something like, you know, she just, you know, like, hello, welcome to Briarwood. Click, click. You know, like she would just, I can't do the exact character, but she would just act like a game NPC. And Chantal is so annoyed about the NPC trend on TikTok. And she's jealous because a lot of people are making money on TikTok with that and getting a lot of attention. And she doesn't have the talent to do something like that.
Hi, Gabrielle. I'm just basically keeping my immigration status, personal. I'm scrolling and every other post on my For You page is somebody doing something that makes me want to scream. Like everyone's like, thanks for the rose. Ooh, ice cream. I hate it. Yeah,
she hates it because she can't do it. So she looks on TikTok to see what the trends are, see what is popping. And she tries to do that on YouTube, although she's not very good at jumping on viral trends and making it work for her. She's tried for years. She's never succeeded. So she's annoyed that people on TikTok have come up with this really unique trend and she can't follow in anybody's footsteps. It's too hard for her.
Even seen like people who were 80 doing it. Stop. Sorry. I spent hours on TikTok. I know, me too. Pineapple's good for the skin? Ooh, good, because I need it.
So here's where it gets started, y'all. So people in her chat are talking about the new terms of service. Mother D says, I heard that YouTube is going to demonetize the mukbangers. Is this true? Well, I don't know about all mukbangers, but anybody who is having B moments on camera, that they've admitted to having B moments, they've admitted that they have a problem with food, I'm sure they will be the most affected. And Chantal is certainly in that category because she's got many videos and many live chats where she's talked about her problem with food. So the proof is out there, Chantal. You've already told on yourself and you can't take that back.
The snail slime is not doing a great job.
Well, that's because you're not washing your face.
Do more and no, I refuse. ALR killing it on the TikTok. Is she doing NPC? I don't even really know what you're supposed to do. Like, what are you supposed to do? Just like sit here like an NPC character? Like, I don't know. People put a lot of work and effort into it, but it's just like a weird trend. I don't know. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I'm just joking. Helen. Yeah, Rashu, I know. Can I say one thing? You can say what your immigration says, and it's still not anyone's business what it is. Yeah, I don't really know like what the big deal is, you know.
Well, we're just wondering how long you're going to be in Thailand. Are you going to leave soon? Are you leaving in a couple of weeks? Are you leaving in another month? Like, how long is this Thailand arc going to last? We're just wondering. We're curious. We're curious people over here. We're nosy. Of course we're nosy. We're reactors. We're nosy. The audience is nosy. We're interested. And yet you're not coming forward and saying, we're going to be leaving in about a week or 2 weeks. You don't have to say the exact date. But you're not giving dates because maybe you don't know when you're leaving because you're stuck there.
All I get are NPC and people making cups. Snail slime from Asian places. Yeah, this is Asia. NPC stream. Okay, so you send emojis and I react to them?
She's trying to... She says she hates this trend. What's wrong with these people? Blah, blah, blah. And yet here she is pumping her audience members for information about how to do this trend. So she says she hates it, but she's gone on TikTok and she sees how popular it is and how some people are making a lot of money with it. And she's asking her audience, like, what do they do? How do they do it? She's interested. She's looking for anything to make her money right now.
First bees. I'm humorous.
And I can tell you right now, Chantal, if you try to do the NPC thing, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're not a very good actress, especially portraying something else besides yourself. You don't know how to do it. You do it, you're going to be a laughingstock.
So many people be doing it on TikTok, making a lot from it. I know. That's why they do it, obviously.
Well, look at what you do for money. You get on YouTube and you're exploiting your problem with food for money. You exploit everything about yourself that's wrong for money. Your health, your size. You complain about yourself. You'll tell us every single detail about yourself that we did not ask about, like your STDs. We didn't ask about that. We didn't want to know about that. You've shown every part of your body that you could possibly show us. You've exploited and shown us everything to the point where there's nothing left. You put things on YouTube that really only belong on, and I got to say it this way, only hands. You screwed yourself that way. The adult stuff that you put on your channel really should have gone there. You would have made a lot more money. But again, this is you being a dummy, cheating yourself out of money just because you were too eager to be on YouTube and get attention. But the desperation with you is off the chart right now. You're looking for anything to make money, jumping on trends, acting like an NPC. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Some people are very good at that, but you're not.
I mean, it's harmless fun. It's a harmless way to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did see someone who was like an elderly couple doing it. It was the funniest thing. That's a lot of there's a lot of cringe. I know. Sophie, fall colors. Don't remind me. I want to definitely make next fall for sure. I cannot miss it. I miss it so bad. Mother D, yeah. Ice cream. Best to keep it private.
You know what would be really great? Would be really, really great. It would be the birthday cake and the icing on the birthday cake. If two things happened at the same time, that Chantal's visa gets completely denied and she has to go back to Canada. And at the same time, or around about the same time, YouTube puts the ban hammer on her content and says you can't do food videos anymore. The two of them together would cause an epic meltdown. Oh, that would be glorious.
Because no matter what you say, people are going to make an issue. Exactly. I mean, the type of like presence I have on social media.
What?
I realize, I don't have that luxury of just being so open anymore. Like,
look at the way she's talking about herself. Oh, the presence that I have online. What presence do you have? Nobody knows you off YouTube. Nobody is following you to the airport with cameras. Nobody's writing you up in the National Enquirer or putting you on TMZ. What presence do you have, Chantal? You don't have a presence. You're just a YouTuber. You're not even at 1 million subscribers. Nobody likes you off of your channel. Nobody. Even people in real life. You're in Thailand. You're not out there making friends, getting to know people. Everywhere you go, people are whipping out their cameras and side-eyeing you because of the way you are. But you're not a celebrity at all.
Just for my own safety and for just privacy is just nice. Like we like having privacy. Like when I turn the camera off, we have a whole things going on in our life, like, things we don't talk about on here. And like I said in my video, I like that because like I used to feel like I would wake up, go live, my whole life was YouTube, but now
It still is.
when I turn the camera off, I feel like I have like a personal life. You know what I mean? Maybe I should just give the snail stuff more time. You were bummed, Stephanie? Yeah. You want a hot coffee? I should make a coffee. Oh, the Asians buy it. I see. Yeah, they twist it. Well, that's the thing, and like it'll be made a big deal out of it. It doesn't seem like a big deal and it's no one's business, but people will make it into what it's not. I feel bad that you don't feel safe. Oh yeah, I'm just being careful, creepy, you know what I mean? And it's not just that. I don't want to share certain things with the public. With you guys, yeah, you're awesome. I wouldn't mind. But
The only time that Chantal does not want to share details about herself with people, if she's got something shisty going on in the background, those are the details she doesn't share with us. She'll share very sensitive things with us. She'll talk to us about her STDs, about her colds, about this, about that, about her infections. It's only when it comes to the shisty stuff that she shuts her mouth.
with the general public, or a lot of people who react to me, I don't want to share that stuff with them. Can you come help rake leaves? For sure, Bucky. I could do about a minute. People are making a lot of money on the NPC TikTok. I know. I got 4 3-wick Bath and Body Works fall candles for only $40. Oh my gosh, that's a good deal, Bella. They must have their $10 sale. Hey, this abaya was washed. Yeah, there's no mint sauce on it. I mean, I wash my clothes every so often. Like, Maybe not as often as at home because we don't have a washer dryer, but I still get them done here at the hotel. That's your prerogative, and people don't get that. Yeah. Marilyn, hi. So much better that you have a life outside of YouTube. It's great you're live, but honestly, what matters? Yeah, Celeste, and I've heard people say like kind of criticize my live streams, like why even go live if you have nothing to talk about? Like, when did I ever have anything to talk about? Like, Lockmas, that's an interesting subject to you. I mean, for me, my whole purpose of coming live is to interact with you guys. That's what I like.
Her whole purpose of coming live is to basically fish for super chats and membership signups. That's why. She's looking for the extra money. Back in the day, she used to make hundreds of dollars in super chats every single time she did a live, but a lot of that has dropped all the way down. Like, her super chat amount has been nearly zero. It's not about connecting with the audience and connecting with people. It's about fishing. She's fishing for money.
Give back to you guys. Like, I like to come and interact with you, and you give that to me too. Like, you come to my live stream, we socialize, we talk. So that's why it's kind of more like a Q&A thing, because I'm answering you guys. I'm talking directly to you guys. I'm not a live streamer who ignores my streamers, like, or my chat. I'm very involved in the chat. I look at almost every comment, some I miss, and I respect.
Yeah, when that started, when her money started to go down. Because when she was making a lot of money, she did not care to talk to people in the chat. She had her favorites and she addressed her favorites, and that was it. And she might say thank you if you gave her a large super chat. If you gave her a small super chat, she will put you down and degrade you. Oh, thanks for your $2. So when she was high on her horse and making money, she could have cared less about talking to people. But there's an old saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. And she is definitely in need. So we have nice Chantal right now. She's being nice because she can't afford to lose subscribers. She can't afford to lose viewers. So she can't afford to be rude anymore. When she could afford it, she did it. Now that she can't, she's got to mind her manners.
Respond to you. I don't know too many live streamers that do that. There are some, but that's what I like to do. I'm not a live streamer who like ignores my chat and then just like talks about subjects, I don't know, like nothing pre-made. But I was thinking of that, like maybe I have seen that as criticism too. I think that would be a really good idea. Maybe putting a lot of effort into like a once a week, like long live stream type of podcast in our like gaming room. Maybe I could look for guests to come on. Maybe I could do something like that.
Oh no. So she's thinking about doing a podcast? Chantal, when you do a podcast, you prepare for a podcast. You've got stuff to talk about. You've got a piece of paper with topics you want to discuss. You prepare. You've never prepared for anything. You're not very good with carrying on conversation and keeping it interesting for other people to listen to. I mean, here you go. You are in your live chat. You're boring. You're just babbling about nothing. So if you can't keep it interesting on your live stream, how are you going to do a podcast? And who are you going to bring on as a guest? Who wants to be a guest on the Foodie Beauty podcast show? Who's going to go on with you? What are you going to do? You're going to sit there in front of the microphone and eat and let them do most of the talking? More than likely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Marilyn. Presence. Just because you have a social media presence doesn't mean you owe us anything. Same with celebrities. It's true. Hi, Sam B. You too. What are these, babe? Oh, these are the corn rolls.
Look at that. So basically, when I saw this, when I was watching the live stream, I'm like, what are those things? And it's basically like super huge corn pops, like cereal without the milk. Got a huge bag of those, because it's processed food.
I don't really. Let me try one. Are these like those Pop Pops from Kuwait? These, I don't know. I honestly was craving just like a corn, even raw. Can you eat raw corn? At least you acknowledge all of your viewers. Reaction channels only acknowledge their paying viewers. Yeah, that's a lot of them.
That's not true. So Creepy Comfort and Crime says, at least you acknowledge all of your viewers. Reaction channels only acknowledge their paying viewers. That is absolutely not true. I've been in many reactor chats, and many times comments will get highlighted on the front of the screen from people who are not sending super chats or super stickers. So that's a lie. So it's not about somebody paying to be acknowledged. Although Chantal, back in the day, that's all who she would acknowledge is people who gave her the money.
Yeah, it's true. I don't care if I get super chats. I mean, I appreciate them, but I
don't care if I get super chats. Oh, yes, you do.
I'm not gonna that's not why I go live, to get super chats.
Liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I don't care if I get super chats. Oh, really? So you don't care about the money. You don't care if people send you money. Oh, really? Then set your live stream to where it's demonetized. If all you care about is a conversation, why not demonetize the live stream then? Answer me that.
You know, like that's the reason I don't do most things for money. I know people think that I do mukbangs. I know that mukbangs, honestly, they're not really a.
Okay, I'm going to give my thoughts on that before I forget. So obviously you guys have seen the amount of super chats has gone down. And you might be wondering, why isn't she freaking out about that? I've got a possible theory that maybe because of the push and her doing the food fetish content, the reason why she's not sweating the lack of super chats, she's getting money on the side from her food fetish people. And here's something else, just something to think about. So Hungry Fat Chick has changed up her content, and her channel is twice the size of Chantal's. And for a long time, Candy catered to the food fetish people. But Candy basically said, look, I'm taking care of my health now. I'm not going to eat fast food on camera, which means a lot of people who might be on Candy's channel that were going there for that content, they're not getting their fix. So they might be looking for someone to satisfy their fix. Enter Chantal. Maybe that's why there's an uptick in her doing the food fetish videos. She's trying to snag some of the people off of Candy's channel and bring them over to her side.
Big thing.
Basically just pick up where Candy left off.
Anymore. They still are. For me, I love eating and talking. Two of my favorite things to do. And whether that means it could just be a small amount of food, like healthy food, whatever. I don't care. I just want to eat and talk, So I don't like to do things. If I have to do things just for money motivation, I'm not going to have a good time. I'm going to lose interest and I'm going to move on.
Well, that's basically what's happened. You've lost interest even in eating. We can see it on your face. We can see it in the videos. You are not excited to eat on camera anymore, Chantal. And it is all money motivated because you're catering to a certain group of people in your audience that really you shouldn't be catering to. You're working so hard to make them happy and leaving out the 75% of people in your audience that are not around for that are not into that. Because that kind of content belongs off of YouTube. There are forums, there are websites that cater to that. But you don't want to go there and make a profile because then you would have to admit that, yes, you are catering to those people. You get called out for it. It's happened before because Kiwi Farms found a profile of yours on a certain site like that. And once they found it and posted it, you got rid of it. So now you're trying to be all incognito about it. But you want to make them happy because once upon a time, back in the day, you made a lot of money off those people. But then when you got involved in Natter and started muddying up the water with all the other different topics, they got disinterested and they left. Now you're trying to get them back. Wanting to make them happy and still make money off of them, despite the fact that it is impacting your health. And honestly, you shouldn't be doing this kind of content on YouTube, period. Period. Should not be exploiting your problem and making it worse and looking for enablers. That should not be happening. If you are an addict, and you certainly are, you should not be running around looking for people to help fund your addiction and keep it going.
That's how I am. Like, I lose interest very quickly in projects and in things. And for something to really hold my interest, there has to be more than just money. You know what I mean?
And there is something beyond the money, y'all. There's something beyond the food. And that something is Salah, keeping him with her. She's got to know that he's around just for the money. The money disappears, he disappears. He's got no other reason to be around her but the money. If the money goes away, he goes away. And she cashed in all of her chips for that useless bum just because she wanted a male companion. She gave up everything in her life for him. She gave up the villa. She gave up Pete's. She gave up the cats. And she ran all the way to Kuwait for him. He's the only thing that she's got left. And she doesn't want to lose that too. So that is her motivation.
I don't know. So that's why I don't want to do the NPC thing, because it would just be for money.
You do anything for money. The only reason why you're not doing the NPC thing is because you literally can't do it. You're not that good of an actress. You can't stay in character for hours. You can't be entertaining. If it were something easy, you'd hop right on that train. You're always all over TikTok looking for trends. Since that's a trend, why not do that trend? Oh, because it doesn't involve food? It doesn't involve you stuffing your face? So you're looking strictly at the eating trends. That interests you because you love to eat. But anything that doesn't involve food, can't be bothered.
Or maybe to see how funny it would be. Raw corn like a beaver. Yeah. Raw corn. Buttered popcorn. It becomes work and not a hobby. Yeah. Well, in some ways, social media is a job. It is if you're earning money from it and you use it to make a living. Now the thing is it can be tedious like any job. Editing when you don't want to. Whatever. Going out and doing content when you don't want to. That sucks.
Oh, boo-hoo. I have no sympathy for you, Chantal. You chose this path long ago. And I don't want to hear your crying and whining, ma'am. There are lots of people who go out and work, and they work hard. And they don't even make half the money that you make every month. They get up in the morning, they eat their breakfast, they get their coffee, they rush out the door, they deal with traffic, they punch into their job. They're there for 8 to 9 to 10, 12 hours straight. They punch out, they go home, they do the housework, they get the TV dinner, and they go to bed. And if they have a family, got to take care of the family, got to spend time with the kids, got to spend time with the wife or the husband or the dog or the cat. And you're over there whining and crying about your simple life where you don't have to worry about children. You don't have to worry about taking care of anything other than yourself. But your life is so hard, right? It's so incredibly hard. Save the tears.
Did I confront the lady for filming you? No. Okay, I didn't even see her filming me.
Yes, you
I
did.
saw a conspiracy theory that people.
How could you not see her? She was directly behind you with her camera out directly behind your shoulder. You saw her. And you knew it was a useless point to cut her out because the reaction channels already had it.
Or she had to take down the video because she got in trouble. She's going to go to jail. So many people want to see me in jail. It's really weird.
I don't want to see Chantal in jail. I don't want her in jail. You want to know why? Because that would be too easy. It's much more fun to watch her on YouTube just crumble slowly, to watch the decline slowly in front of us. If she were in jail, we're not going to be able to see it. I mean, that would be the end of it if she's in jail. So no, I don't want to see her in jail. I want to see her squirm. I want to see her suffer. Not by anything that I'm doing to her, by things she's doing to herself. That's a lot more fun. And for some people on her channel that might come over here watching this video saying, you're a hateful reactor, Rose. You're wishing something upon Chantal. No, I'm not. I don't have to wish anything upon her, nor do any other reactor. We don't have to wish anything bad on Foodie, because she's going through a lot of hurt and a lot of suffering on the things she's doing to herself. Nobody anywhere has to do anything to this woman. She's doing that work all by herself. And the beautiful thing about that is that by doing it herself, she can't blame anybody else. So no, I'm not wishing anything bad upon her. I'm just watching a stupid people, so sorry. Let me correct myself. I'm just watching a stupid person make bad choices and suffer the consequences of their bad choices, and not doing what they should do and take care of themselves and fix the problems. I'm watching someone run away and escape from their problems, and they've gotten themselves to a place where they're in a corner and they can't get out, and all by their own hand. And I have no sympathy for her. Not after what she's done to BBJ and Sam, especially poor BBJ. After learning everything that happened to BBJ, no tears over here. The suffering that BBJ went through for so long, unnecessarily, I ain't crying for Chantal. This is her karma.
Anyway, kingpin bees. I don't know what's it called. Prison boss bees. Yeah, it's like Pop Rashu. I was way behind. Tracy. Join the club. No. Salah's just out there beesing. Try Lumi. What is that, Boo Boo Cat? Okay, so the woman at the thing, I didn't see her do that. And if you even, it doesn't make sense, because if you look in my edited video of the market, I kept the woman in staring at me, so I don't know.
Because you couldn't edit her out, that's why.
But okay, I think I have one more thing to try. A couple things.
Okay, brace yourselves, y'all. You guys know that she loves ketchup. Well, she's about to eat a tomato with sugar on it. So basically, it's like another version of ketchup.
Who even knows the lady was filming? Why do you think she was filming you? No, I'm not trying Balu. Okay. Do you think this will taste good? Let's find out.
You know it's bad when she's so broke she can't even afford ketchup. Oh, Chantal, I love it. You can't even afford ketchup, so you're down to just eating a tomato with sugar on it. I love that for you.
Lumi? Oh, that's cool. I like tomatoes. I have nothing to make a sandwich, so I might as well just eat the I love lettuce. I feel like a rabbit. Hmm. Hmm. Yummy.
You guys know that this whole eating healthy food on camera thing is not going to last long, right? Because she'll go through periods of this where she'll act like she's eating healthy, but then that bee monster in her head gets activated and it says, I don't want this. I really don't want this. I'm going to whisper in your ear that I want something else. I want some fast food and I want it now. And I'm not going to leave you alone until you give it to me. You can't go from one extreme to the other without having those urges. And unless you have some coping mechanisms and coping skills, you're not going to be able to stop yourself. So go ahead and eat your fruit and your lettuce and all of that, Chantal. All that's going to do is prompt you to go crazy with the fast food off camera or on camera.
I have a mukbang to upload, but the meal wasn't like very. It was filling, but not like too filling. So video and your podcast. Are you gonna do a travel video? All who else? Who was all housed there? I know Paul Bernardo was.
Blah, blah, blah.
If you're gonna show that you're eating like a salad porridge for breakfast, when is that vid gonna be out? I like creepy, like true crime, and especially stuff that was like close to home. You know, everyone's subbed to creepy crime and comfort, or creepy comfort and crime to watch that video, because you don't want to miss it. I have my notifs on, so I'm like looking forward to it. Can't wait. Chantal's a TikTok, and I've always, you know what? I've always wanted to travel to Kingston Pen, actually. So I wish I could have collabed with you guys. I have a TikTok. You guys don't know that? That's why I have no viewers.
Well, that's the crazy thing is that you're all over TikTok all the time. And yet I checked, Chantal, it's been a while since you made a TikTok. And all of your TikToks are kind of just, you know, nothing interesting about them. But you're all over TikTok, and yet you're not doing anything on TikTok. You were all fired up to do TikTok until you found out that even people that get millions of views on their TikToks are really not making much, that their payout is extremely small, and that kind of turns you off from doing stuff on TikTok.
I don't even know what it is. Babe, do you know what my TikTok is called? Yeah, what I eat in a day as a fat girl. I should do more videos of that.
No, you shouldn't. You really, really shouldn't. If you got an issue with food, you shouldn't be doing food content, period. Because if you cared about your health, you would just say, I'm going to do eating my food off camera. And that way I could be more mindful of what I put in my mouth. And I'm not turning it into a show. So no, you shouldn't do more videos like that. You should do a lot less.
But people just say, oh, when the camera's off, she eats.
You do.
Some of them, what I eat in a day are BS. You gotta, I mean, you have to, okay, look at it this way. And this is not being rude because I'm a heavy woman. If you're like overweight, like, you know, obese.
You're super morbidly obese. There's different levels to it. You're at one of the highest levels, Chantal. You get another 50 to 100 pounds, you're going to be bedbound. That's how close you are.
You're going to do a what I eat in a day. That's a general statement of like on average, you know? And you're going to say, hi, Teardrop, hi. Yes, Lexi, I want to see it. If you're going to show that you're eating like a salad porridge for breakfast with chia seeds or something like this, a huge tuna salad for lunch, and then like a quinoa stew for dinner, and that's it. No Pringles, nothing after. You're full of crap. You're gonna be fat eating that. You should change the title and say what I eat on a good day, you know, not in general. Because let's be real. Yeah, I have a TikTok. Anything pickled. Ugh, that's another thing I can't get. I actually legit messaged my mom. She's like, hi, cutie, how are you? She checks in. And I had a meltdown over this with Salah. Like, And I'm like,
Oh, and I know that I'm probably a little late saying this, but this is probably going to be a longer react because she does cover talk about the new TOS and about her grandma, and I want to cover that. So for those of you that might be irritated, this react is a bit long. So sorry, but I want to cover a few more things in here.
I'm fine. I'm just a little crabby because there's no cheese. Pickles or olives easily accessible around here.
Aw. Then leave and go home to Kuwait or Canada. Plenty of cheese and pickled stuff there. Simple solution.
I took that for granted. Getting in the Kia, driving to Farm Boy, and getting the olive bar. I took that for granted. I took your olives for granted. Who's like heavy as well. Doesn't even show their face or body. And
Oh, wait,
literally fashion
what?
here.
She's going off. What?
I took that for granted. Getting in the Kia, driving to Farm Boy, and getting the olive bar. I took that for granted. I took you.
Another reference to Natter. Talking about she never went to Farm Boy until Natter. So that's another thing that looks weird to me. Like she talks all the time, or she used to, about everything bad that he did to her, all the hurt that he caused her. So if somebody caused you that kind of hurt to the degree that she claims he did, why would you want to think about that person or anything connected to that person that might trigger a bad memory or a bad emotion? You want to block all of that out of your mind and not bring it up in your head or let it come out of your mouth.
Your olives for granted.
Shut up singing.
And pickles were
Shut up.
always
Be quiet.
on my
Please stop singing. My ears did not consent to that torture.
side. Weird. Would you be offended if hi, Angel of Mercy? A thin woman doing parody view on YouTube if they showed all of their face. What? No, Merrick. Here's the thing. I don't mind parody. I don't mind funny. I don't mind somebody that puts into work. You know, if they're going to steal my content.
Who is stealing your work? I'm reacting to Chantal right now. Am I stealing her work? Stealing implies you're taking something from somebody and they no longer have it. I'm just reacting to her video. This video of her live is still on her channel. So how am I stealing? How are any of the reactors stealing from her if she has the original content? That's number one. Number two, reacting is work, Chantal. You're not a funny person and you're not interesting. And it takes a lot to make you interesting. And a lot of reaction channels, a lot of clip channels, a lot of work goes into what they do. I know this for fact. My friend Erie Pepperoni, she put together a docu-series of you, the Obsession series. That took her weeks, going through all your content, putting all that stuff together, making it cohesive and easy to understand. Took a long time. So what do you mean reaction channels don't put in the work? They do. They put in more work on your content than you do.
What I mind is like some jerk who's like heavy as well, doesn't even show their face or body. And
she's talking about FFG. She's so jealous of Frenchie. She is hopping mad about the fact that French Fry Girl started her channel, a couple of years ago? I'm not exactly sure of the timeline. And in that short span of time, compared to Chantal's 5-6 years on YouTube, Frenchie makes 10 times more money than Chantal off her content. And that's because Frenchie is very funny, very entertaining. Frenchie's not getting on camera showing off all her body parts. She's not exploiting her issue with food. She's not coming on camera intoxicated. Frenchie is a very smart lady. She's hardworking. She works very hard on and off of YouTube. And Chantal cannot stand the fact that Frenchie is doing so well. It drives her insane. that somebody is taking her content and making more money and is more successful. It's just food in her stomach that will not digest well.
And literally fat shames me the whole video and steals my content. That's what I'm.
Nobody steals anything from you because what's on your channel stays on your channel. And the only time that we have something that you don't have is when you do a live or you do a video and you make the choice to dirty delete. When you dirty delete something off your channel, you're giving us free real estate. You're saying, I just spent 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours doing this video or this live. I spent my time doing it, but I don't want it anymore. So have at it, reaction channels, and we do. You're making more valuable real estate for us. So thanks, Chantal. Appreciate it. But we don't steal things from you. It's impossible. It's on your channel. Nobody can take anything away from you. Either YouTube deletes it or you do. So trying to paint this narrative, everybody's stealing anything from you is BS. Nobody steals nothing from you. If anything, you steal from yourself. You take money out of your own pocket every time you delete a bunch of videos or a video or a live or a bunch of lives. You rob yourself. You have robbed yourself of more money than what you claim the reactors have taken from you. You delete your own content and the money that goes with it. You are your own worst thief. You do something on a live or a video that gets you in trouble. You don't want YouTube to give you a strike, so you get rid of it. But we react to it. We'll make the money. Yes, we will.
Problem with. I'd be crabby if I can't have cheesy. Pickles are found in the markets. No way, Freya. Where? Foodie Beauty YouTube, your TikTok. Oh, thank you, babe. Foodie Beauty YouTube.
I don't even know why they're promoting her TikTok right now. It seems like there's a heavy emphasis on promoting her TikTok when she's really not doing anything over there. What is the point of promoting her TikTok if she's not even that active?
Anyway, when I come home, I'm appreciating, like, imagine eating out for like a month and a half straight. I know I used to do that every day, but like, I don't know. I would still make things at home, and I miss that part.
No, you don't.
I want to cook. I want to make like chicken parm. I'm gonna have a whole month of cheese, like
what?
Cheese recipes.
Why? A whole month of cheese recipes. She doesn't have a gallbladder. She shouldn't be eating cheese, especially excessively. Chantal, cheese is what sent you to the emergency room, remember? You had to go to the hospital for that. You're stupid. You're so stupid.
Every day a different cheese. Pickled eggs, no, old meat. I don't really love eggs. Salah walked past one on one of his walks. No way. He walked by some pickle markets? Well, suits me right for not going along. The drawing cartoon? Oh, I could do that again. Golden Girl. Can't wait for cooking vids. Yeah. Isn't that woman a Scientologist? I knew it. I knew there was something going on with somebody who mixes mustard and cottage cheese like that. I do most of the time. Hi, Angela. Hello. Are my teeth a little whiter? I've been using a new toothpaste.
Now you've just been brushing your teeth.
Are you going to go to
or a filter or both?
The infamous full moon party? When is it, Xena? Okay, everybody. Great chocolate cake. She put ketchup on canned peach. No. Cute pic of Sam. Thank you. Okay, when's the full moon party again? I do bust on you a little bit, PB. Eating salmon every day for 1 week. I need to find better ways to cook it. Lemon pepper salmon. I know.
I'm trying to get past through all of the boring food talk, blah, blah, blah. I want to cover the parts where she was talking about the new TOS. I know it's in here somewhere. That's what I'm looking for.
That's the problem. Okay, you need to try a long explanation. Okay, Shannon, we'll have a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to have a little more pineapple and that will be it. He's a wonderful man. Thank you. Yeah, he is. My internet went down for a few. That sucks. I hate when that happens. I panic. Like, okay. This is a corn stick. It tastes like buttered popcorn. It's made from corn, like corn puff. I have not seen Omi rice. Is the omelet liquidy? Because it's about binge eating is a mental associated with an eating disorder.
Okay, hold on.
Hi, Bam.
Okay, I think we're about ready to get into it. Sorry it took like 2 hours to get there, but we found it.
How are you? How are your travels?
So Messy Girl says, Foodie, are you worried about at all about the new YouTube rules and guidelines regarding mukbangs? Now, of course she's worried. She'll never admit to it, but she is. Trust me, she's worried.
Okay. This is a corn stick. It tastes like buttered popcorn. It's made from corn, like corn puff.
Who cares? Next.
I have not seen Omi rice. Is the omelet liquidy? Foodie, are you worried at all about the new YouTube rules? No.
Liar. Liar. She's worried. She's so worried. She'll never admit that she's scared to death, but she is, and she should be scared. Because she did not do anything on her channel besides the food content. So if YouTube comes to her and says, we're not monetizing this, you can post it if you want to, but we're not going to pay you for it, that's basically going to cause everything to come to a screeching halt. And I'm here for it because it needed to happen a long time ago.
Because they mean, like I watched the update today, they mean like, they're not going to monetize people binge eating, okay? A binge has to be associated with an eating disorder.
And you have one, and you've admitted it. And I just showed a video with you admitting that you have a problem with food. They're all over your channel still. So you can't use that defense of, well, I'm just mukbanging. No, you have a problem with food that you need to put in check. Because it's going to send you to the hospital or maybe something more substantial than the hospital. You're like a little kid crying and screaming and you can't take my toys away. Oh, yes, they can. It's their platform. They make the rules. They can say what is something that they'll pay for and what they don't. And they're saying, we don't want to pay for this anymore. We don't want anybody getting on YouTube and glorifying this any longer. It's not advertiser friendly because this is promoting something that's not good for people. But you're being defiant and saying, although the TOS is about to change, I'm not going to change. I'm going to claim discrimination. It's not discrimination. It's YouTube saying we are not going to put up with channels that promote harmful behavior that other people might look at and they might get the wrong idea of if they want a successful channel, they should do what this person is doing. No, they shouldn't. Nobody should.
So the thing with that is people, regardless if you have a binge eating disorder or not, you have to eat. So how can you?
You know what? You can eat. Everybody has to eat. You can eat. Just don't eat on camera. Don't glorify it. Don't exploit it. Keep it off camera, Chantal. Eat a meal with the camera off. You can eat a meal with the camera off. You won't get paid, but you can still eat. You're just ticked off because you expect to get paid to eat.
To discriminate.
It's not discrimination.
Against, like, what's their guideline for what's a binge? You know, I think they mean if someone comes on and is like counting calories, if someone's coming on and like restricting calories, if someone's coming on and being like, okay, this is a binge and eats like 20 chocolate bars in a row.
So she's trying to define what a B moment is. She's trying to say, it looks like this. You got to have a lot of food in front of you. It's got to be a bunch of processed food. It's got to be a huge spread. And she's trying to defend her position. And she can't, because she knows she's in the wrong, and she's trying to find some loophole to get around it because she wants to get paid for hurting herself on camera. And yeah, I said it. What she's doing, what she's been doing for the last 4 or 5 years is self-harm content. She hurts herself on camera, and she looks for people to pay her to continue. And I'll die on the hill with that. If you have an addict of any kind that gets on a public platform and they do the source of their addiction on camera in view of everyone, they have an audience and people are watching them go nuts with the source of their addiction. And they actively look for people to enable them and to back them up. That is wrong. Addiction kills, and it hurts, and it affects people. Addiction can take over a person's life and consume them. And not just consume them, but it affects people around that person in a harmful way. It causes so much sadness and so much heartbreak and so much damage. And unfortunately, there are people out there, they don't make it out of addiction alive. Some people make it out alive, some people don't. But it's a harmful thing. And it is not something that someone like Chantal should get on YouTube and look for other people to back up. If anything, people need to back away and realize how wrong this is. And for anyone who's a beezer, that you might come over here yelling and screaming in my comments, know that I don't care to hear from you, first of all, if you got anything negative to say. Secondly, you want to support Chantal? You can do that without funding the addiction. You can leave nice comments for her, comments of support. I'm here for you, Chantal. I care for you, Chantal, without funding the habit. If you like someone who's an addict, you can like them without making the problem worse, without helping it to continue. No one should be enabling her. No one. Because you can see how bad this is, how bad it's getting. And it's only going to get worse. She's using her channel and her platform to exploit what's wrong with her, to find people to enable all of this and to keep it going. That should not continue. It just shouldn't.
You know, if somebody names it a food challenge, though, it's because there's no disordered association with food to it. So it's not the same. I don't know what they're going to do about food challenges, but for me, like you'll see in my video I'm going to upload, I had a meal, you know, even my pizza was like this big. Most of the food I eat is not even that big, and it's not a binge. All of binging is done in secret.
And that's something she's trying to also use as a defense, that when you have a B moment, you do it in private. And that's mostly true. Hers is a little bit different, though. Usually when you have a B moment, you are by yourself because there's a lot of embarrassment. There's a lot of shame. You don't want people to see what you're doing because in your mind, you know there's something wrong, but you don't want to reach out for help. You're in your own personal private hell, and you're not ready to reach out for someone to help you, or you don't know how to ask for help. She knows how to ask for help. She knows what she needs to do, and she doesn't want to do it because she's too busy exploiting it. It's making money for her. Using her addiction to make money, rather than say, this is horrible and I need to stop. But Chantal, you sit in a room by yourself and you eat. And you have your camera on, but you're still alone. So yes, you're still having B moments because the moments you do are in private. You're not really doing them out in public.
Away from everybody, because it's about binge eating is a mental health disease. It's not just overeating. That's the difference. And that's what they have to differentiate between those videos. But by the way,
and I think she's exploiting that too. I think she's exploiting the fact that having a problem with food is hard for other people to understand sometimes, unless you've been through it yourself, or you know somebody who's been through it, or maybe you've gotten educated on it. It's something that's hard to understand. It's hard for some people to grasp, how can food be dangerous or lethal as much as, say, an illegal drug? It can be. It has. A lot of people have been affected by EDs. Some people have died because of them. They didn't make it out of the door in time as far as getting on the other side of recovery. Anything in life, if it's abused, it can hurt you. And she's abusing food and herself. And despite the terms of service changing, she wants to continue. She's not looking at it and saying, well, this is a sign that I need to change. She wants to continue on this path, and she doesn't want anyone or anything to stop her. No matter what stop sign you put in front of this woman, she's going to try to find a way around it rather than turn around and go back the other way. Nothing's going to stop her from doing what she's doing, not even herself.
I wanted to say that about, I saw a TikTok, like this disturbs me. Yeah, I have an eating disorder, Danny Howlett, but I still have a...
See? And she just said it. So you're not just a simple mukbanger. You're someone getting on camera with a problem with food. Hence the reason why you shouldn't be doing videos featuring food. That's the difference. Other people could do mukbangs. They don't have issues with food. They can do their mukbangs and stop. With you, there's no stopping. You never stop. You have to eat every 2 hours. You have a problem with food, ma'am. You're an emotional eater. You have B moments. You even have food aggression. You need inpatient. YouTube is not your inpatient. The YouTube chat is not your therapy. You need to stop skirting around the issue.
Right to eat, right? So how is YouTube going to watch me doing a mukbang of a totally normal portion, or maybe a larger than normal portion, and say that's a binge? So
because there's videos out there of you saying, I got a problem with food. And after November 1st, after that TOS comes into effect, you don't think they're going to see the other videos where you're confessing you got a problem with food? You think they're going to look past you? They're going to give you some kind of grace? They won't.
So because I have binge eating disorder, I'm not allowed to eat on camera at all. Same thing with Eugenia Cooney. Okay, she's like at the other end of this.
She's doing the whataboutisms. Well, they're going to say something to me, but not Eugenia. Eugenia is a very sweet girl. And I sincerely hope and pray that she also gets the help that she needs. I really, really do. It's watching Eugenia it makes me so sad. I hope that something can be done for her too. But it doesn't matter what ED you have, whether it's having B moments or you're going the other way, whatever disorder, whatever addiction you have, you need help. You need therapy. You need perhaps even inpatient. Whatever hurt you have to find a way to heal it. You can't just let it go on and on and on and on and on. You gotta stop it. Hurts are meant to be healed, not exploited. You shouldn't use them to make money, ever.
Spectrum of eating disorder. She's anorexic. I saw the most disturbing, I hate seeing these on TikTok of a person who had an account on TikTok coming for Eugenia, like wanting to deplatform her. And she was like really disgusting about it, like saying, don't worry, her problem, like she should be off of YouTube, she should be off of TikTok, she should be deplatformed. She's glorifying, her reasoning was she's glorifying her eating addiction, her eating disorder. One, no, she doesn't. Because she literally, people have had to pull teeth, literally, to get her to acknowledge a little bit that she has an eating disorder. Yeah, Naomi. Like, there's people who eat way more than I do. I eat my meal. That's it. I still have to eat.
So basically, Chantal's thinking is, if these people that have EDs are on YouTube, and if YouTube allows them, why won't they allow me to do what I want to? She's trying to rationalize it by saying they have the same condition and they're here. Why can't I be here? Why can't I get on camera and hurt myself and get paid for it? Answer: because it's wrong. It doesn't matter if there are 1,000 other people on YouTube doing the same thing or just one person. It's wrong and it shouldn't continue. People getting on YouTube and exploiting their issues with food or issues, period, it sets a dangerous precedence for other people who might wander onto YouTube. And maybe they might have a thought in their head, they want a successful channel. And they might look around at other channels and say, what can I do to be somebody? What can I do to get a lot of subs and get a lot of views? And what's always scared me to death, y'all, honestly, it's not just watching Chantal hurt herself the way that she has, but wondering if there's anybody out there that they might see her channel and say, I want 94, 95K subs. What do I have to do to get there? And they might follow in her footsteps, and that might lead them into really dangerous health conditions. Just thinking, oh, it looks easy. She gets on camera and she eats. How hard can that be? But they're not thinking about the ramifications of those actions. And by the time they figure them out, it's too late. Nobody should do this. Nobody. If there's anybody out there that you want to be on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or any other platform and you want to be somebody, find another way. That doesn't involve hurting yourself. It doesn't involve hurting your body or your health. If you're talented, use your talents. Write, do art, sing, dance, write poetry. Be expressive, but for God's sake, don't hurt yourself and don't follow in the footsteps of somebody who actively is. Never a good decision.
Danny, how are you to determine what my personal binge is? Just because you say it's a binge doesn't mean it's a binge. So the same logic. Actually, I know.
Bitch, I'm looking you dead in the face. From somebody who was once there to somebody who is still there, you binge. You binge. And you try to use that gray area of, a binge only looks like this, or it only looks like that, to try to confuse people. Because those who are not involved in it or been involved in it or been around somebody who was involved in it, they don't know exactly what it looks like compared to what it isn't. You binge. You binge. And you try to use the public's lack of knowledge or experience to work in your favor. I'm calling you out. You have a problem with food. You need inpatient. That's the only thing that'll work for you to be put somewhere where you could be monitored and you can't sneak eat. You can't eat what you want when you want and keep yourself full 24/7. You need serious, intense, locked down inpatient. Then you might be able to get a grip on things. You need therapy in the worst way. These are things that you need, but you will never get because you're not interested. You're too busy profiting off everything. But don't sit there and try to use that crap of, I'm not doing it. It looks like this. Bullshit. I've dealt with BED. I'm seeing you all the way over here. You binge. You know you do. And it doesn't matter if it's on camera or off, you do it. You know I'm not lying, Chantal. Nobody can stop you from doing what you want to do, but I am happy that YouTube is putting its foot down on your neck and saying, you can go ahead and do it, but we're not going to pay you for it. You know what I say to that? Hallelujah. About time. About freaking time.
I know myself a lot more. I live with my eating disorder. You don't, you know?
So you're not in recovery. You basically just said without saying, I'm not in recovery. But we knew that. I knew that. I've been knowing about that. You're not in recovery. Therefore, you should not be doing food content, period. You shouldn't be putting it on YouTube. You shouldn't make that the focal point of your videos. Do something else.
Actually, saying that I'm eating like a personal size pizza is a binge. No, binging is not just how much you eat. That's not only what a binge is when it comes to binge eating disorder. And a binge is a lot more food than what I eat. A lot more.
You know what? A binge could be a whole bunch of food in front of y'all, or it could be a little of this, and then a little of this, and then a little of this, and then a little of this, and it goes on for hours. It's called grazing. Yeah, there's a term for it, grazing. When you get a little bit of everything. I'll just start over here and then go here and then here and then here and then here, and it's just nonstop. She does that too.
It's about how you feel about what you're doing. You're on autopilot, you feel bad, you feel all of these emotions, like there's all this psychological part to it. It's just more than overeating, you know? Everyone has a different.
I don't think you feel bad about what you do because you rationalize it. You're like, it's my job. I make money with it. So that makes it okay. No, it's not okay. And it's especially not okay to do it on a public platform and have people watch you hurt yourself with food. Foodie.
Size meals. Maybe I didn't eat at all that day and I'm eating a lot now and I won't eat later. How can YouTube determine that? If you come on though and say, okay, I'm going to show you guys a binge, then they won't monetize that. Sure. I don't have a full table of food yet. So, okay, what is deplatforming going to do for Eugenia? Is that going to get her to stop? Is that going to get her to stop? Are you going to cure her eating disorder by deplatforming her? No, that's just
no. If Eugenia lost her channel, would it stop her from having a problem? Probably not. But at the same time, if she were off YouTube and if she were getting the proper help that she desperately needs, she could get better. There wouldn't be the added pressure of, I have to be on YouTube and look a certain way, and I'm doing this for money. Take the money out of the equation. Maybe the person can focus on their mental health, their emotional health, their physical health. There's a chance she could get better. And I want her to get better. I really do. Because she seems like a very sweet young lady. So I hope, whatever the circumstances, she gets better. I really do.
Discrimination against people with eating disorders. People with eating disorders have a right to a platform, you know?
And all that YouTube is, YouTube is not saying we're going to take your channel away. It's not about deplatforming you and taking your channel entirely away. They're just saying you can't do this certain kind of content. That's it. They're saying to you, do anything you want except this. And you are so angry. You're mad because you can't just do easy peasy content anymore. You have to actually work now. And YouTube is stepping on your neck and saying, we're not going to pay you for this harmful content any longer. Do something else. And you don't have the imagination, nor the talent, nor the creativity, nor the ability to evolve and adapt and go forward and do something different. So you're mad. You're mad because you want to stay lazy and do the easy content.
And she doesn't encourage it. Like she does, clothing hauls, but I mean, she's not saying, "Look at me, you should not eat. You should." She's not promoting anything. She actually keeps her eating disorder, Eugenia does, very, very, very private. You know what I mean? I'm always here for support you and standing at your side. Any pressure, you are the most kindest woman I've ever seen. So, simply, I love you. Aww. I get really red. Look at. Thanks, babe. You are the kindest man too, and you really changed my life. Helped me become a better person. I love you. Why would someone admit that they're...
Did she just say that about Salah? Oh, you make me become a better person. Really? He made you into a better person. How come you're not healthier? If he was all about making you into a better person, wouldn't he encourage you to go to therapy? Wouldn't he encourage you to go to inpatient? Wouldn't he, as your husband, look at you, his wife, and say, I want you around for many, many years. So do what you need to do. If you have to go back to Canada and get an inpatient program and stay there for a while, that's what you need to do. I love you and I will be here for you. He would stop you from hurting yourself, but he's not stopping you. He's enabling you and he's encouraging you to do the content that you do because you got in his ear and said, this is how I make my money. Just roll with it. And so he's rolling with it because he's benefiting financially. Because of you and your toxic content, he got a free trip to Thailand. You're paying for everything. You've been paying for everything for the longest for that man, as well as with Natter. You paid for everything. So yeah, he's benefiting, so he's not going to stop the train if it's rolling. He's going to keep it going until it hits the wall.
Binging to create awareness about the disorder in general. So what people want to do instead of helping people with to create awareness on it, is they want to ostracize those people. They want to put those people away. Like Eugenia's, she's influencing young people. Well, you know what? That's the parents' responsibility to not let their kids watch anything. Or instead of that, why not just teach them about it and why it's dangerous, blah blah blah. Why not just have that conversation with your kids instead of putting the onus on the influencer, who, by the way, doesn't owe you anything. We don't owe you anything to raise your kids. We're not influencing your kids. We don't owe you anything. We have a right to a presence with an eating disorder on a platform. That's how it goes. So
you can have an ED and make a YouTube channel and do other kinds of content, and that's fine. The problem only comes up when you take what's wrong with you and you are exploiting the crap out of it and you're turning a profit off of it. And you let the problem go unchecked and it just gets worse. I have always said that YouTube is the worst thing to ever happen to Chantal. Her getting a channel and getting monetized, worst thing ever for her. She's a rotten, evil person. She was that way before YouTube, but all that being on YouTube has done is turn all of that up to 1,000. If she'd just been a regular person with a regular job, she wouldn't have been able to afford eating $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month in food and junk and party favors. Living her life in excess, she wouldn't have been able to afford it. She's gotten to the place where she is because of getting on YouTube and making that YouTube money and living her life without restrictions or rules or discipline. She abused the freedom that she was given, the blessings that she was given. It could have gone a different way. But look what living her life to excess has done to her. And now that YouTube is saying no more, she's still trying to find a way around the rules, trying to find the loopholes.
Sorry, I'm not glorying anything. I don't come on here and say, okay, look at all this food I'm going to binge on. No, I eat them.
No, you get on camera and say, look, guys, I'm eating again. You might as well. You're not the most graceful eater. You make it seem like everybody's interested in every bite of everything that goes into your mouth. Nobody is. It's gross. It's gross. And it should stop. And I'm glad it's going to stop.
Meal. I enjoy food. I have an eating disorder. I have an addiction to food, but at the same time, I have to eat. I'm a human being. You can't avoid it. That's why it's so hard. You
And eat it off camera.
can't avoid it like you can avoid beer, cocaine. You can avoid those things. You can't avoid food, and you have to eat. And if you make it a secret to eat, and you start putting all these food rules on yourself, you start adding guilt to the mix, then you perpetuate your eating disorder. You have all these.
So what is she trying to say? Is she trying to blame YouTube? It sounds like it. It sounds like she's saying, give me a second. She's doing the same thing to YouTube that she does to Salah. Salah has to be with her every freaking second, or she looks at him and says, this is what happens when you leave me alone. It's your fault. She's trying to like flip the script on YouTube and say, let me do what I want and let me do it in public, or it's your fault if my problem becomes worse because you're making me sneak eat. You're making me do it in secret. That's also bullshit. That is to blame shift. It's everybody else's fault. No, it's your fault. And it's your problem. And it's up to you to fix it. Don't blame anybody else for what's going on with you. Nobody caused this but you, and only you can fix it.
Negative emotions associated with food, which is what I'm trying to avoid, you know? So whenever you come in someone's with an eating disorder's life, whatever, it's the internet, I don't expect any less. But when you leave comments to people like saying, why, like, you're really going to eat all that? Especially if it's not even that much, you're messing with them psychologically, or you're trying to. I've learned to like just put a bit.
Oh, and she's doing that too. So anybody that comes to her and sees her eating like a meal for 4 or 5 people, when they come to her and saying, are you going to eat all that? She's saying, oh, it causes feelings of guilt and shame and that's just wrong. And no, people are just pointing out to you shouldn't be eating all that. And they're right. You shouldn't be eating a meal for like 4 people for one person. That's them trying to wake you up and give you awareness that something is wrong here and it needs to be dealt with.
Barrier up on comments like that now. But, you know, they're only demonetizing. Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
and by the way, Chantal, I'm just going to throw this in. It's YouTube. YouTube is a company. They can make whatever rules they want about their platform. If they made a really abstract rule about, well, we're not going to monetize your content if you come on camera wearing the color blue, and because we said so. It's their rule. It's their company. It's their policy. You got to follow it. So you can sit there and yell and scream about how unfair it is. It ain't going to make a whit bit of difference. They do what they want, just like you do what you want. And since you're depending on YouTube for your pay, deal with it.
They're just demonetizing like videos about that, you know? So I don't know what, if they consider mukbangs binge eating, maybe certain types, like maybe, I don't know who they'd go after, like for instance, because there are people who do mukbangs who don't have eating disorders.
Right, but that's not the case with you. That's why the rules apply to you, not to them.
You know, there's a lot of them who just eat large quantities of food like it's a profession for them. They're eaters, you know, and they don't care, like probably when they turn off the camera, they don't care about food. So
yeah, but you do.
You know what I mean? They're probably like sick of food because they have to eat it all the time. So
you know what she's doing? She's doing the thing of like, look at them, but don't look at me. They're mukbangers too. They're doing mukbangs. It's okay, but don't look at me. Don't look at me. Because if you looked at me, you'd realize that the situation's different. I have a problem with food. I know I have a problem with food. I've confessed to my problem with food. Just ignore that part. Ignore that part where I'm getting on camera and I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to do. Just focus over there. They're doing mukbangs, and what I'm doing, I'm calling it a mukbang, even though it really isn't a mukbang. And even if it were, I shouldn't be doing it because it's bad for me. Just don't focus on the part of me hurting myself. Don't look at that.
I don't know. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do is try to shift more of my content over to, putting more work into it. When I get home, maybe get a nice chef's hat or something, and like my kitchen's nice and clean. I can like set it up in a bit nicer and make it like somewhere inviting, like set up my spices nearby.
So is that the plan? Is this like the workaround, the loophole that she's planning? That in a month, when YouTube puts its new policies in place, the workaround, the loophole is, I'm just going to disguise what I do as cooking videos. I got to cook. Because that's the Chantal way. Find a workaround to the rule.
Make it somewhere like conducive to wanting to cook. So yeah, Merrick. But that's part of the eating disorder too. Like that's from, diet culture. It's like no matter what we eat, if I'm not eating literal lettuce, you feel guilty. You're like, like if I have like the halal wieners, for example, like if I have like,
what amazes me? There are people in her chat defending her, and not a single one of these people. How can you not listen to Chantal and realize how wrong this is? You're listening to an addict say to everybody in their audience, yes, I have an addiction to food. I've got a problem with food. I've got a serious problem. And I should be going to therapy, and I should be an inpatient because it's just that bad. But rather than heal my hurt, I want to still continue to profit off of it. Never mind the fact that I'm over 500 pounds and my health is bad and I have trouble breathing and I have trouble moving. Don't pay attention to that. I'm in really bad health. My health is getting worse. But despite all of that, despite the fact that I know all these issues are going on and I'm not trying to heal a single one of them, I'm going to find a way to be on YouTube and continue my harmful behavior. And I'm going to use my hug box to spread my narrative to everybody and paint this picture that what I'm doing is okay. It's not okay. And I would say that about anyone who has an obsession or an addiction that is hurting them. Anybody of any size. If you have an addiction to something, an obsession with something, it has taken over your life, it's consuming you, it's damaging you or your life in some way that is just becoming more and more apparent, you got to deal with it. You should reach out for help. You should seek out help. There are people out there that will help you, that want to help you, but you've got to reach out. What you do not do is get on YouTube and exploit it. You don't turn it into a moneymaker. You don't get on a public platform and do the source of your addiction in view of the public, looking for enablers, looking for some kind of financial support system to keep it going. If there are people around you that care for you, they want you to stop. They would say, I'm not supporting this crap. I'm not giving my money. I'm not paying to watch you hurt yourself. This is morbid. You can still give support to an addict without financially supporting them and supporting the habit. Because once you give the financial support, the habit will continue. The person's going to get worse. You can like the person and hate the addiction and not support the addiction.
one or two, which really isn't fine. I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna eat the whole package because they're bad anyway, and I'm being bad right now. Like I'm not, I'm giving into my eating disorder. You know, like it's a really weird, skewed way of thinking, and it's really personal. So for someone to come in here and be like, you're binging when you really have no idea.
Bitch, I've been there. I was there for 6 years. And I'm looking at you. You binge. Okay? You do. You do. And even if you lie to us and say, I don't do it, I don't do it, I don't do it, Chantal, anybody can look at you and how you looked when you were in Canada. They can look at other pictures of how you looked when you were in Kuwait. And now that you're in Thailand, you're putting on weight rapidly. It's quite scary. You're getting huge, mama. And that's not me fat shaming you. But the lies coming out of your mouth, your body's telling on you. It's letting us know you have not slowed down with your eating. If anything, you've speeded up.
You know, what happened with Mother D? Do more travel content. Especially not with any, maybe if I could put this on it, sugar, salt, teardrop. I should make a great cake and gravy in her honor. Because that's some interesting combos. Thanks for sharing that. Call it Chantal versus food.
Like Chantal gets on her channel, every video, every live, food is involved. Either she's eating it or she's talking about it. And people in her chat talk about food. And a lot of them know about her issue with food. And common sense would say, if you're someone and you're around someone, they've got an obsession or an addiction, the last thing you should be doing is talking about the source of the addiction with that person. You're putting it in their face. You got to know that's wrong. Because if that person is fixated on that thing, you mentioning it is going to keep them fixated. And I'm not saying that people in her audience, they are to blame for this. It's Chantal's life. She's got to take control of herself. But it doesn't help when you got people around you helping you to stay fixated on what the problem is. You care about Chantal, don't mention food to her. Find something else to talk about. If you care about her, take her mind off of food. Mention any other topic but that. Her life revolves around food. She revolves around food the way that the moon revolves around the earth. Just constantly orbiting, constantly circling, but never getting out of that orbit. She doesn't need any help being fixated on food. She needs help to get away from food. So the cycle continues. She makes lives and she makes videos talking about food, showing food, eating food. She gets in her chat. She talks about food with people. They talk about food with her. They give her Superchats, which backs up her content of food. I mean, it's a horrible system and it needs to be broken.
Best wishes, Mother D. What are your plans if YouTube? Well, Danny Howlett, I mean, the worst comes to worst, they would demonetize my old videos. Some of them, you know, I would fight that. A lot of them are not related to binge eating disorder. It's just eating and mukbang, you know.
Chantal, if the rule goes into effect on November 1st, that means it applies to all your content, past and present. You're screwed.
Mukbang is not synonymous with eating disorder. So, but going forward, I plan on I want to do cooking, like I said, and I want to do some other content, maybe some podcasts or something, like some kind of show. I don't know. Remember when I had the Chantel show? That will take like a lot of work, and it's a hobby. It keeps my mind busy. It's something I like to do.
She's switching up the narrative. Like, so she had the Chantal show, and she's got a Twitch channel. If she wanted to take her mind and her content off of food, she could do it easily. Like if Chantal had even half a brain cell that wasn't coated in cholesterol and fat, she could turn this whole thing around. She could say, this is the moment where I'm just going to have a wake up, get smart moment and change my content. Start making content revolving around putting my health together, getting myself together. It's time. It's been time. It's overdue. And there'll be a lot of people that would get behind her. I mean, look at Hungry Fat Chick. She catered to the fetish people for the longest. Her channel bigger than Chantal's, and she made the decision to take care of herself. And a lot of people are getting behind Candy and they're rooting her on. So if you take the content away from food, you're just going to get a better audience of people that back you up on that decision.
What kind of cheese is used to put in? Oh, don't know. I don't know. It's really fresh. Call it Eat With Me instead. Yeah. Maybe they should do something about all the hate bully. Exactly, Teardrop. Anastasia, hi. Yeah, sorry, babe. The candle of the life, exactly. Aw. Yeah. I'm here to take care of you, babe. Don't worry. I don't know. Um, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go buy a new fancy car when I have one that works, that kind of thing. Squeak, squeak.
Yeah. So she's talked about the Sangria Kia is back in Canada. I'm not quite sure why she held on to it, considering she's not really driving it, but she still has it, according to her. Good luck fitting into the Kia, Chantal. You've gotten bigger since then.
Cheese. It's prayer 5 times a day, LGBTP. I was like, oh God, I can't stand her voice. But like, how disgusting that your mother just passed away and you're just like, you go on a stream and like take it out on me. Like,
Wait. Okay, we're about to get it started. Okay. All right. We're going to back it up. I got to catch all of this because I'm going to go the fuck off on Chantal.
you know what I mean? Like in an immoral way. I'm not going to buy a farm because, like, did you put me in cat form? Excuse me. Can't loan the money no longer. Well, that's not true. You can always get along. I'm telling you, no matter how many bankruptcies, no matter how much you've had, there's always going to be a bank that will loan you money, okay? But I don't want to. Like, we don't have to. And
like she was just talking about French Fry Girl and her mom. I'm waiting to get to that part again because I've got a lot to say about that.
Mashallah, I'm so happy for that. You know, banks profit off of people being in debt. It's so sad. Exactly.
Okay, so this person's comment, Lexi Lamington says precisely what Creepy said. Look at Goblin Face profiting off of you and your struggles after her mom. Did you hear about her mom? Why is she still dragging you? That is weird. I'm about to go the fuck off.
Yes. The Kia probably won't work. Yeah, I have somebody taking care of it, Flora. I got some peeps in Canada. I'm not going to say I don't miss Canada. Obviously, I do. Some parts of it for sure. Definitely my family. I miss them a lot. I would love to be able to like. I don't even like hugging, but I would love to hug them. Yeah, big hugs, Teardrop. You're an amazing person. You're always positive. I love it. Pete's let a family of possums move into the Kia. I would love that. I would be like, here, possum. I call the big one Bitey. I will never own an iPhone if I can't open my phone inspected. Really, Mary? What Creepy said, look at Goblface profiting off of you and your struggles after her mom. Did you hear about her mom? Why is she still actually Lexi? Yeah, I saw that. Like I was watching Yo Mama and she came on and I was like, oh God, I can't stand her voice. But like how disgusting that your mother just passed away and you're just like, you go on a stream and like take it out on me. Like I don't know. Hey, if that makes you feel better, do it. Whatever. But like I don't know.
Listen to me, you disgusting bitch. Leave Frenchie alone. Her mother just passed away. And I'm sure that hurts a great deal. But you have the absolute fucking nerve to go after Frenchie at a time when she's grieving her mom? Have you forgotten the way that you behaved when your grandmother passed? Even before your grandmother passed? Because I remember, I think a lot of us remember, your grandma, she was in hospice. You couldn't be bothered to go see her because you were hanging out with Natter and doing the party favors and acting the fool. And when you went to go see grandma in the hospice, you made sure to take a selfie and post it on social media when really you should have kept that private. You exploited your sick grandma, posting her picture without consent. And were you there for your mom when your grandmother passed? Were you there comforting your mother? Going to your mom's house and saying, "Do you need something, Mom? Are you okay? Do you need me to cook for you?" Just looking after your mom. Because when a relative passes, especially a parent, you're in autopilot. You're still in shock. You didn't do that for your mom. You were so far up Natter's ass, you couldn't see daylight. You didn't care about your family. All you cared about was being with that crackhead. And you're so predictable, Chantal. So predictable. Always trying to find a way to hurt Frenchie. You found out about her dog's passing and you tried to use that to hurt her. You pushed that button so many times, it stopped working. But now that her mother has passed, you're going to try to use that as a gotcha moment? You disrespectful bitch. Leave her alone. You may not care about your family, but other people care about their family. She's grieving. Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
It's so hot here still. I hate it. Yeah. Oh, is it hot all year round here, Drog? Canadian people are pretty cool. There's exceptions. There's exceptions to every rule. Every rule. Everyone deserves happiness, whatever the harsh conditions one may face. Stay positive. Thank you. Yes. And I'll never forget, like, I'm not angry. I can forgive people, but I'll.
And by the way, and I just want to point this out, when you have a channel and you're doing a live chat, it is very easy that if somebody says something that you don't want to address, you don't have to address it. So that comment that that person put, she didn't have to address it. She didn't have to bring up Frenchie and her mother. She didn't have to read it. She could have just scanned right past it and let it go. But she wanted to read it out to be hurtful, to bring it up. My prayers are with Frenchie and her family. I'm sending love and healing, and I hope that there is some kind of comfort in the sadness. I'm sorry for her loss. And Frenchie's handling it the right way. She's being professional. She's not coming on camera losing her mind. She's holding it together, and that is to be commended. Hats off to you, Frenchie. I'm sorry about what happened to you. But don't let this disrespectful piece of scum try to trigger you. She ain't worth it. She's garbage.
I'll never forget some of the things that were done to me. And not only that, like, especially around the time when my grandmother passed away and people were accusing me of going there like coked out.
You were, and you were exploiting her being sick for sympathy because a lot of people had things to say about you being with Natter, and you were using that as a sympathy card, acting like a caring granddaughter when you weren't. You weren't there for your grandmother, and you weren't there for your mother when your grandma passed, bitch.
and in like skimpy clothing. Like we had to wear PPE. What are you talking about? I mean, I posted a pic. I was there with my mom and my sister. Even my sister couldn't handle the pain of seeing her grandma that way, so she had to go home. My grandmother and my mom and my grandmother and me were the only ones there till the day she took her last breath, and she waited for me. Like I was driving.
You know what? You use that as a gotcha moment too. Oh, I was there when she took her last breath. I was there when she took her last breath. It was such a precious moment. But no mention of being there for her before that. You had all kinds of time and space to go see your grandma and spend time with her before that point. Did you? No, you did not. So you ignored her and you weren't there for her when she was ill. But when she's about ready to pass, you wanted to be there just to say, that's how much I cared about her. You didn't. You didn't care about her.
Driving down, you never know. People decline very quickly, you know? And to say that I chose, you know what, over my grandmother, because the minute like I drove down there, I zoomed down and she waited for me and she held, and I could see her struggling to breathe. This is kind of like trigger warning. I could see her, you know how like near the end of life, you take those last gasping breaths and they become closer, like further and further apart. And that's like trauma I still haven't dealt with, but that's like for me personally too. But I held her hand and I was like, it was weird because I was thinking things like really looking, I still can see her hand, like because I like etched it in my mind. I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to feel her warm hand. And then I said, it's okay. Like, I think she was waiting because like she kept breathing and it was like, it looked agonizing, you know? And so I was like,
I'm going to throw something at you, Chantal. If grandma were still here, what do you think she would think about the way you're acting now? How do you think she would feel? Do you think she'd be proud of you? Do you think she'd be disturbed by the things you're doing? By the life you're leading? You're acting like grandma mattered so much to you, but if she were still here with us, what would she think of you? About the way you're handling yourself? The fact that you're getting on YouTube and you're exploiting something that's wrong with you rather than treating it. How do you think grandma would feel about that?
it's okay. Like you can go. And then she immediately, she like just doing, you know, and people are attacking you. And I don't know, twice divorced. Good afternoon to everyone. Did you try durian again? Not again, twice divorced. I'm afraid to bring it in the hotel. That's why. Those agonizing moments, like they must have been agonizing for her, not being able to breathe. Because she was always so claustrophobic. So not breathing was something that she was always so afraid of, you know? My grandmother had very bad mental illness.
Well, here's Salah in the chat saying, there's too many disgusting people and hope they will get their karma soon. God will never forget, though. And what kind of good karma do you think is coming to you, Salah? You're over there as a 30-year-old man living off a 39-year-old woman who's in bad health, who's hurting herself, and you're okay with it. You're living off of her, bro. So they're going out and getting a job and supporting yourself and getting away and not enabling this toxic behavior. You're on board with it. What kind of a karma do you think you're reaping for yourself right now? Because you're so determined to be a professional bum. Got a little reality check for you. You're a 30-year-old man. And you're counting on your looks to take you far. And you're looking for thirsty women to pay your way. But here is a known fact you cannot escape. You're 30 right now. How long can you keep the game going? The clock is ticking. Every day that we all wake up, we get one day older. Age happens to everyone. We all get older. So you're 30 now. How long can this pretty boy game continue? where you count on your looks to pay your way? Are you going to be able to play that game when you're 40 or 50 or 60? How long can it continue? You lucked out and found someone that was stupid and desperate and thirsty and latched onto her the way that a tick latches onto a host. And you're sucking off her blood. But she's not healthy. Something could happen to her at any time. So what's next after her if that happens? Going to move on to the next one, and then the one after that, and the one after that. How many can you find to pay your way before you run out? Before you get too old to play that stupid game? You might find yourself one day in a place where nobody wants to pay for it because it looks old and pathetic.
So many disgusting people get their karma. Yeah, true. That's the thing, and I don't mean that in like a bad way, but I think people just, Jana, listen, people so worried about me not going back to Kuwait, whatever. There's so many other countries to live in if we had to. I'm not worried about that. But no, it's not the case. But anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't have the income to keep traveling. You need a static location when you can sit and eat and not go anywhere, because traveling takes money, and it's money you don't have anymore, foodie.
When she was like 50, yeah, we know too many in this community are disgusting and miserable and jealous from the successful queen should marry him. You're so cute, babe. I'm gonna flick you.
And there's Salah lying in the chat again. We know there are too many in this community are disgusting and miserable and just jealous from the successful queen, Chantal. Oh, she's successful? Wasn't she just complaining in the chat like a couple hours ago about the cost of cherries and cheese? What successful people complain about the cost of cherries and cheese?
You know when something's so cute, you just want to... One will get their karma, Lakina. You know, if I do something to someone else, then I'm going to, you reap what you sow. It's a tale as old as time.
And you are reaping what you sow. That's what I love about this Chantal story now. You're reaping what you sow. All the bad choices, all the bad decisions, all the stupidity, all the scamming, all the lying, all of the selfishness and being self-centered and narcissistic, it's catching up with you, foodie. You ran and you ran and you ran, and you can't run anymore. Literally can't run. And it's caught up with you. And it's time to pay up. Got to pay the piper. You listen to the song, now you got to pay. You can't run anymore. You can't escape anymore. And you're finding yourself in that place right now. You want to go back to Kuwait. You can't. You're stuck. And you're over there sweating about money. And what timing is this? YouTube changing its policies. About to cut her off. Daddy YouTube is saying no more allowance for you. You got to go out and work now. Tired of paying your way. Daddy YouTube ain't paying your bills no more. Or at least not in the same way. You got to do a different kind of work. So what you going to do, Chantal? You going to buck up against Daddy YouTube and cause a fuss? You won't win. Not your company, not your policy. Are you going to switch gears? We'll see.
Hi, Sarah. So that's, yeah. But I'm going to do content like cooking. I want to have like a foodie beauty channel. I think channels that are really eclectic are like less successful. And I would like to try to like do more like cooking and developing skills like that for myself while doing videos, making really nice recipes like my own way. And
by the way, Chantal, if you're thinking about getting into the cooking part of YouTube, better start doing some homework. about how other cooking channels do their content, because cooking channels, they're all about the cooking. So in the whole process, the ingredients, explaining how it's made, everything's well lit and professional. It's not about the gorging. So if you're trying to find a workaround so you can still gorge, not working. It's all about making the food, not eating the food.
Not just some generic, like I want to like incorporate my own touch to food and have Salah try a lot of food. Maybe at the end of every video, babe, I can have you come in and try it and be like, give your thoughts.
Oh, geez. Food poisoning incoming.
A different view. You guys don't even know. I didn't really talk about it much, but I don't miss. I realize how much I disrespected myself and like just let people like use me,
No. Don't go there. Don't do that. I let people use me. No, I think you got that backwards. I think you used other people. I think you're a freaking predator. And you are. Because you were running around looking for desperate men to pay to be around you and holding your money over their heads. You thought once you gave a man money, that means he belongs to you. No person belongs to you, Chantal. But you are a predator. Have been that way for a while. It was never about somebody using you. It was about, I'm looking for somebody that I can use for companionship, for partying, for love, whatever. And using your money as the bait. Look, I got a YouTube paycheck. You want some? Come and get it. Would you like some candy? Yeah. Yeah, that was you. There's not a single person around you right now that's around because they want to be with you. Is because they need something. They need to be taken care of. That's why Salah's still there. Because I'm sure if he had a choice, if he had his own money, he wouldn't be there. He would have taken off long ago. But he's a broke bum, wanting to stay a broke bum. And he wants you to pay his way. So he'll hang around for a bit longer.
And I don't miss that at all. I don't miss that at all.
Liar. You've been talking too much about Natter and Canada. You miss that life. You miss the freedom.
I really wasn't really happy. I'd come on and tell jokes and stuff, but underneath that, yeah, I think I would come live and just be silly as a way to just kind of ignore what I was doing to myself, So no, I don't miss that.
She does.
Yeah, but that's a good question. Saw is too much. It's
nobody can tell me otherwise. I think she misses Natter. Natter was the one she cared about, the one she got obsessed with, and the one that she couldn't have. And that haunts her to this day. If Natter and Dee Dee split up and Natter made one phone call and said, I want you back, come back to Canada, she'd make it happen. But because Dee Dee is still there, she can't be with him. They were both twisted and just degenerates. They had a weird love-hate relationship. They loved to hate each other. They loved to love each other. It's just weird. But they're both just degenerates. And on that level, they understood each other and they accepted each other. They are both equally rotten and bad. And that's how they got along. And Natter gave her the freedom to be her real self. He didn't stop her. He didn't try to turn her into somebody she was not. That's why she's still hung up on him and talking about him. She wants to be with Natter. She misses Natter. But she can't be with him, so she's got Salah.
Deranged, exactly, Laura. How's my boil? It's gone. It's like healed.
It's gone because it never existed in the first place. It was fake. It was phony.
Well, there's like a little mark, but I probably didn't even need to get that procedure done because it wasn't as deep as I thought. The whole people here are amazing, kind of respectful, unlike the haters community. All of them Islamophobic, disrespectful, and nasty. Not gonna lie. Exactly, babe. You're right. Yeah. No, it's true. Like our chats here, our community, we don't really like unless I'm responding to something, We don't just sit here and talk crap about like a certain person over and over and over. We just don't do it.
Liar. I'm sorry if I'm getting loud. I apologize. I know that some of you out there, you wear headphones. My apologies. I'll lower my voice. How many live streams has she done? How many videos has she done going off about Frenchie? Almost the entire time. Always keeping Frenchie's name in her mouth. And if she's not putting her name in her mouth and putting it on a live stream or a video, doing it in the community post, raging about her. Constantly talking about Frenchie. Constantly. Never shutting up. Even now, y'all, she's in Thailand. She could talk about anything or anyone. She doesn't have to bring up the reaction channels. She doesn't have to bring up French Fry Girl. She could talk about whatever she likes. But even in Thailand, with Salah on quote-unquote vacation, still bringing up Frenchie. Frenchie's got a 100-room mansion rent-free in her head, complete with a swimming pool, a theater, and a sauna. Frenchie got some serious space in her head. And Chantal wants her to live there, I guess.
And I don't know. Yeah, the Stephen King one is.
Are we almost done?
Danny Howlett, if we could come to Canada and live. No, I don't want to live in Canada. Like,
what she means is she doesn't want to bring Salah to Canada. And what she means by that is, I don't want to live in Canada because I owe a lot of money to the tax man. And I'm hiding out in Kuwait to get away from the tax man because if I go back there, he's going to get me. But I certainly don't want Salah with me in Canada because that means he's going to have contact with all kinds of other women. So I'm running from the taxes and I'm keeping my boy toy away from other women. I don't want the chance of him running off and leaving me behind. That's why she doesn't want to go home to Canada. Not because she doesn't miss it, but because the tax man's going to get her. And if she goes home to Canada, she can't bring Salah with her. That's why she's determined to stay in Kuwait.
There's so many, like, I don't know, so much else to experience right now. It's just not what I want to do right now. I'm not saying I'll never want to live there again. Who knows? Kuwait City has the 4th highest pollution in the world. Do you find it affecting your lungs? Really? I didn't even know that, Bam. I don't notice really, but I don't like when it's been really hot. I don't notice. No, I don't notice that.
Okay, you know what? We got like 4 minutes left. I don't even care. I'm going to cut it off here because the react is already like extremely long. It's like 3 hours. Sorry it went this long, y'all, but it just, there were certain parts in here that I wanted to cover and I couldn't find them. I should have done timestamps. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And thank you so much for being here. And please have a wonderful day. Bye now.